We'll let it fill up, guys, and then we'll get this thing on the road.
Epstein.
What up?
Oh,
We're gonna let this fill up a little bit, and then we're gonna get everybody else going.
cool.
Polo should be here, but you know how Polo is.
Yep.
So, how's it going?
It's all good, just chilling, chilling, doing what I gotta do. Waiting for tomorrow so I can get these comics and review.
Exactly, exactly. Hey, let me ask you a very important question. Like a lot of people want to know this, Master Shooty.
Yeah.
Why does it always sound like you just took like a whole bag of Valium whenever you talk?
You
You're like the chillest guy ever.
know what? I don't know, man. I just have a naturally chill voice. I'm just naturally chill.
So, what area are you from? You don't have to tell me like an exact area, but what area are you from?
Well, I'm based in Virginia, basically Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you do something with business? Because I always see you in your snazzy khakis.
Oh yeah. I mean, I do a lot of policy stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. So I've been going to a lot of interviews just to basically find a policy job. That's why you see
Yeah.
me. I've been to a lot of meetings. I've been to a lot of fairs. So yeah, that's my thing. But you know, I, it's all about the work, basically.
Oh, yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work like 6 days a week, like probably about 9 to 6
Dang.
ish. So, which I used to have a job. I don't know if anybody's ever worked any factory jobs before, but I used to have a job where it was 7 days a week and it was 12s.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the pay was okay, but you're beat down so much and you don't have any time to spend it.
Yeah, I figured, man. At one point, you'd be like, man, I gotta find a way to just chill and also make money.
Yeah, like it's a great job. Like if any of you young guys, you young single people want a good job, then go get a factory job because if you don't have anything holding you back, you can go make a bunch of money while you're single and don't have any responsibility, and then save that up, and then you can just go get a different job later on.
True.
Like Master Cheetah there, he ain't got no worries. Where's Polo at? Maybe he'll be here in a second. Let me send him a DM and see. I sent it to both of you. Of course, he's probably looking up the other guy's videos right now, and he's not watching. Let's check him. So, what recommendations have you got for me while we wait for Polo? What recommendations tomorrow coming out?
Well, let's see. It's actually a quiet day at DC. They got all these annuals coming out. You got the Batman annual #2.
It's
You
sold out.
got what?
It's
Oh,
sold out online. I went to Midtown Comics 2 days ago and it was sold out.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, from what I looked at the previews, it's
Yeah.
like it's supposed to be like an origin story of how Batman first met Catwoman and how I saw in some of the previews like it's basically a basically chase issue, which is probably going to be interesting. Apart from that, you have the Green Arrow annual, um, the Green Arrow annual, which is like I don't know a pseudo holiday special with Count Vertigo. Um,
Yo,
Go,
it's
Polo.
what
Hey,
up?
hey, Polo. Master Chudy's telling me what to get tomorrow on Comics Day.
I don't even know what comes out tomorrow.
He
okay.
just told me to get the Batman annual, and I told him that I looked on Midtown Comics and it was already sold out.
Batman Annual comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, annual #2.
Oh
And
yeah, with
what else did you say was coming out? It was like Green Arrow.
Yeah, Green Arrow's first annual. I think it's its first annual. Then Super Son's annual #1 is coming out. Its first annual.
Oh, I love Super
I'll
Sons.
definitely pick up Super Sons.
Yeah. Then
Yeah,
trying to think of what else. And then there's this new miniseries DC's got another 6-issue miniseries or 8. I'm not sure. It's called Mystic University. Mystic
I
U.
saw that.
Yeah, where it's supposed to focus on like DC's magic users. Like, you'll have Zatanna in there, Jason Blood, John
Like a magic
Constant.
school.
Yeah, basically.
That's awesome.
So
That's a manga waiting to be written.
yeah.
Supposedly they're doing the Justice League Dark movie.
They've been
Oh,
working on
yeah.
that for like 5 years now.
True. Then
Because the guy who directed Hellboy was supposed to direct it, but I don't think he's going to anymore.
yeah.
Let
Oh
me ask you
man.
this: Did you guys watch? Did you guys watch Justice League Dark, the animated movie that just came out?
I did. I did actually.
I
Uh
saw like half of it. I don't think I finished it.
I finished it. I thought it was a good movie, Everybody it was a nice twist. I mean, I thought they did everybody justice. You had
Yeah,
of course you had John Constantine, you had Deadman, Zatanna,
I like the animated.
all the good stuff basically.
I like the
yeah.
animated DC stuff. I just can't stand Batman's chin strap.
Oh yeah.
Everybody keeps saying that. I'm like, what's the big deal about that chin strap?
I
Somebody
don't
needs
know.
to. Hey, who don't have their headphones on?
I have my
Actually, I don't
headphones
even
on.
have any headphones for this laptop.
Okay.
Polo, did you just get in this live stream? You don't have any headphones.
Well, I have headphones, but they're for my iPhone. They don't connect to my computer. You get what I'm saying?
Oh really? Wow.
How are we going to fix this?
But I think I can go on my phone. Hold up. Hold up.
Okay. Because we got to do something about that because it sounds like I'm talking to myself. Hold on, Donna.
I'll dip back out and come in on my phone.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to ask little Donna in the comment section there. Donna, what's going on with you today? You seem a little agitated there today on Twitter. Is that your just normal self? Is that the where are you from again? Somebody had commented where you were from, like Puerto Rico or something.
I heard Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah.
I think that's just her feisty Brazilian coming out. We'll make her mad enough in a minute, and she'll comment.
But even though, but in terms of Marvel, I mean, and everything with Marvel, I know the new Venom is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Me personally, I like Mace Windu. It's coming out. And in case you want to roast something, the new America Chavez is coming out too.
Are they actually going to do that movie?
No, you see, I heard something like that because I watched I Love Comics like video on that about this actress that wanted to play America Chavez, and
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
cosplaying like the average person wouldn't know that's America Chavez, like because
No.
it's like the most casual clothing that you can see anybody wear, and you're like, oh, I was America Chavez for Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like nobody, like no, nobody looks like that. Nobody.
They would think that she was like an urban dress Captain America.
Yeah. I guess. Oh, new issue of Old Man Logan is also coming out, and then Moon Knight is also coming out. And
Oh. Is this Moon Knight different? Like, does he wear his uniform now?
well, he still wears he's wearing the uniform on the cover, so we'll see. But I'm probably just
Okay.
gonna
I
get
hate that suit.
the all white one.
Yeah, I hate it. It doesn't look like a superhero. Polo. Look at
Oh,
Polo.
Oh dang, face.
Face reveal.
I have my face in all my videos.
True.
With now. um, let's see. What was I going to ask? Oh yeah. So
Anyway,
we've
is
got all
that
those
better? Does
coming
it
out.
sound better now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot better now.
Okay, cool.
So I was going to ask you guys, um, while we're waiting for more people to fill up here, I want to ask you guys on a side note. There was a book that came out, and I don't know if you guys have heard of this book. You may have heard one or two people kind of casually talking about it. But there's this book that came out called Doomsday Clock. I don't know if you guys have read that.
I got 3 copies.
I read.
You got 3 copies?
Yeah, I read it and reviewed it, and in my opinion, I thought it's a good read. I am kind of I have some knowledge of Watchmen. I know the main characters, and I get it that I can't I can't properly critique on those who are probably well known with the Watchmen universe. But
Which is like 8 people.
true. But
Well,
I
that
thought
book
it.
is just so dense. Watchmen is such a dense, like, there's so much, like, to, sink in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to read so much if you read that book.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
true. But in my opinion, I thought it. I can understand people's issues with it. It kind of like danced a bit at the beginning, but it was still sort of solid. And I
Hmm.
understand, and I do feel like you cut to Superman immediately without any type of build up. And I thought the dream
Yeah, you
sequence was
didn't even know who he was.
yeah. But from what people are saying, it's like,
Like
oh,
he,
Superman might be Doctor Manhattan. I don't believe that because I went back a bit and I read DC Rebirth, the actual comic that led to the Rebirth universe.
Yeah, I have
yeah,
a couple copies, and I just ordered the deluxe edition of that. It was like $10 on Amazon. You're talking about
Oh,
Rebirth #1?
yeah, Rebirth, like
yeah.
Yeah,
DC Rebirth.
yeah.
And from what I'm guessing and what I think is going to be good is that apparently Doctor Manhattan was the one who was supposed to be behind the whole Flashpoint thing instead of Barry Allen. Barry Allen actually causing Flashpoint, and then apparently Doctor Manhattan went and did the whole New 52 to see what happened, and then he kind of rebirthed the whole universe again, bringing back the original Wally West and then the original pre New 52 Superman and all of this stuff, which I think is interesting because he said, "Yeah, I'm leaving the Watchmen universe for a less complicated universe." Only for him to complicate the DC universe, and I'd like to see where this goes because I think that you could also tie it into like DC Metal, like his
Yeah,
presence
Yeah.
bringing in all of these evil dark Batman and how the dark multiverse came because of
well,
Manhattan
I had
interference.
kind of a different reaction. You all said you didn't like how Superman just showed up out of nowhere. To me, I was reading Doomsday Clock, and I was like, "Oh, this is a really good Watchmen book." And then all of a sudden, I see Clark Kent. I'm like, "Oh shit! I totally forgot. Like, this is going to be DC and Watchmen." I don't know. I really liked that it was
Yeah,
just
I
like
like that
random.
too. I didn't
Yeah,
like the fact that they didn't really have anything to really tell you that it was him. Like, people that's been reading the series could figure out, hey, that's Superman within just a couple of sentences. But if you
Yeah.
flip to the page, it's just a dude laying there with his wife. I mean, you couldn't like put his costume like on a chair next to the bed or something, to kind of just let you know a little bit. Which they had the Daily Bugle in the background, but still.
Yeah, did he have like a S curl, like the hair curl, or his glasses on, or anything?
Well, he was laying on his back, on his stomach. You didn't really see him.
Yeah, I got to look at the book again.
Um, Somebody said, Donna said she didn't like the Trump references. Um,
Hey,
that's what I was going to kind of lead.
Donna know we're just messing with her on Twitter, right?
Well, she's Brazilian. She understands.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. When I read it, I got the Trump allegories. You'd be like, oh, yeah, the president's playing golf, and oh, he's not there, and I know, and Russia is invading Poland. Russia's invading Poland, and I get that. Like, yeah, yes, Donna, '92 was Clinton's first year, but I think it was to the fact that the world Ozymandias had like screwed the world over like so badly that everything was just going to hell. I mean, that's what I thought about it.
Hmm
How how
He's basically Lex Luthor at this point.
how are you guys seeing the chat? I don't see the chat.
What you need to do is you can't do that on your phone. What you'll have to
Uh,
do is you'll have to like pull it up on your computer
okay.
and just mute it, and that way you can see the.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Just
Okay,
pull it
I'm
up
doing
on
that now.
YouTube and mute it.
Oh, on YouTube, not on Google?
Yeah, just pull it up on YouTube. Go to the video and pull
Okay.
it up, and then mute it.
All right.
So the thing that got me was, I liked the book, but it was these things that were thrown in there so close to each other that didn't really make sense. That you knew was kind of shoehorned on there, and then the
Like
fact that
what?
they changed. Well, like he was saying, within one or two pages of each other, you had the words Russians, North Korea, and President went golfing. And I'm just sitting there like, can we not read one comic book that doesn't say something about federals or the FBI, the president, Russia or North Korea or China? Can we
Well,
not have
if you
one
think
one
about it,
comic book?
if it's going to be really political because Watchmen was essentially a political comic book, like back when it was created. So there, you know what I mean? Like if there was going to be a new comic book that's political, it's going to be this one. And I feel like they've been planning it for a while, and then all these other comics, especially Marvel comics, have kind of jumped on the political train. But this was going to be political from day one, you know?
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. It's just the way that they did it and certain things that they added together that you could tell like it's not the same as the regular Watchmen, which I know it's not. It's not
Yeah.
Watchmen. It's like a sequel, but it's just the way they did it. I was like, that's a little shoehorned a little bit,
Yeah, I can
But then I
understand.
kept reading.
I really liked the third panel when they're talking about the undeplorable scream to hear themselves deafened in their echo chamber. I was like, damn, they just took like just a slap at the SJWs there. Like I don't know, it seemed like it heavily showed both sides. It didn't seem like it was too one sided, but that's just me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
and it may be that that's what it is. Maybe they're trying to hit all sides.
That's what I mean.
But I think that this is like the first issue was just a setup. I think with later issues, you're not going to see a lot of politics, but them finding where Dr. Manhattan is. And the Watchmen have lost like, whoa.
Sorry,
Polo, puff
my
puff
mute button.
pass,
All right, I
man.
got it.
Down
My
in
bad.
hell.
Yeah. But I think that basically, the Watchmen universe, like all of their heroes are like AWOL or dead. Like the original Rorschach is dead. I don't know what happened to Night Owl. The comedian is dead. Dr. Manhattan's not there. Like Ozymandias is literally the only one pretty much left from that crew of people.
Yeah. And somebody said here in the comments, they said, "How did Ozymandias end up getting cancer?" I think he got cancer from Mr. Manhattan.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like Mr. Manhattan was like, yeah, I'm about to bounce to another galaxy or universe. Peace. And then he's like, oh, he gave me cancer. Damn.
Well, yeah, I feel like it was just being around him, the exposure. That's what I kind of feel like it was because, um, just like I don't know if you read the comics where everybody was getting affected by the Hulk. All those years, all of his enemies, all of his loved ones were being affected by his gamma radiation.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that. Yeah.
Maybe that's kind of got something to do with it because Mr. Manhattan does so many different things with his abilities that he doesn't really like think about affecting anybody else. That all of those godlike abilities have to have some kind of effect on regular people.
Oh yeah. Wasn't it that I even remember in the movie like he couldn't be like near his original wife because of all of the radiation he was giving off, and that I guess the woman that he was with in the movie, like had like a certain type of I don't want to say immunity or power, maybe
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah.
I
It's a
think
very
he,
interesting concept, though.
yeah, I think in the movie he did give his first wife cancer, and she died from that cancer.
Mr. Manhattan or
Yeah,
Ozymandias?
no, his like Mr. Manhattan's like first wife. I think she did die from cancer.
Yeah,
That's probably
well,
what it
because
is. Then we
he
probably
gave
just didn't
her
catch it.
his radiate because he got infected with the radiation from the blast. So he basically anyone that would get too close to him, i.e., a wife that you sleep with, she got cancer because of his radiation.
So Silk Spectre is definitely done for.
Oh yeah,
Well, the first one, right? I don't know about the second one.
Yeah. Well,
Or wait, no,
if you
who was
watch
the
that
one?
movie,
No,
she
no, no,
definitely
no,
got cancer.
no. The first Silk Spectre didn't get cancer, right? It was he was married to someone else.
He was married to her daughter.
No, he
The
hooked up
second
with
one.
her daughter, but he had a wife
Oh,
before her daughter.
yeah. Okay. So that was
But
the
I
one that
can't
got
remember who
cancer.
it
But
was.
I'm saying, as much as he was around Silk Spectre, yeah, she got cancer.
Well, does she have superpowers or no? She's just
She's basically like Black Canary or something.
but she doesn't
She's
have
just a really
powers,
good
right?
fighter. I don't think she's got
Okay,
any
yeah.
powers. I think she's just really good at fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess like some people are more susceptible to radiation poisoning than other people, so maybe she won't get cancer. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. I guess it is one of those things because everybody's different. Um, so
I
now that
personally am always hiding from the microwave. I'm afraid of microwaves, but
I stick my face right in front of it, I
no, because
watch my
it's
stuff
supposed to make you
microwave.
not be able to have kids.
oh,
Okay, well then I stick my face in there like all the time. Then that way I ain't
I'm
got to worry
laughing. I'm
about
just
it.
muting myself so I don't cough too much because I'm smoking a joint.
So let's talk about for a second the funny joke going on with Polo and his girlfriend and Grand Comics
Oh,
right now.
Jesus Christ.
what?
It's so funny
No, it's
because it's like the
basically go
go
for it.
ahead.
Oh, I
It's a
was just gonna
perfect
say,
scenario.
have you seen the other guys? Anyone?
I think everybody that's anybody has seen the other guys.
Trudy, have you seen it?
I think so. Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
By the way, fun fact: I'm actually friends with Mark Wahlberg's nephew. Look him up. His name is Xavier. He's a cool dude.
Name drop. I mean,
Oh yeah, I don't even care. I'll talk about that all day. He's like one of the nicest
who
people I've
was
ever
it the
met.
other day that you were telling me that you knew? It was the people that hang out with Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, I've always been friends with those dudes like since 2012, 2011.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I that's why I got my lip tattoo actually because I was friends with the punk band that joined them. They're called Trash Talk, and
Hmm.
like Tyler took a picture of my tattoo and shit, and like put it in their books and or online or something. I can't remember, but yeah, those dudes blew up like crazy. Like they were all from because I'm from Sacramento, California. I live in LA, but I'm
Hmm.
from Sacramento, and Tyler went to school like with my friends and shit. So he was like he
That's
moved
really
around a
cool.
lot. That's why. But anyway, back to comic books because I don't really give a fuck about that shit.
Hey man, you're interesting. We're trying to find out about you.
Hey, I appreciate that, but honestly, man, I've realized that like there's so much more opportunity, at least for me, in the comic book industry than there ever was in music, and so I'm trying to get out of music. But I've definitely been into music and being an artist for some time now. I've always been in bands and putting out trashy rap music, as they call it. So
I understand.
Understood.
So now that we're done with that, and we're all in agreement that Doomsday Clock sucked, we're going to move on to. Just kidding, guys. It's
well,
fine.
okay, that's the thing though. I know it's like the cool guy opinion to think Doomsday Clock sucks, but I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I really
Did
enjoyed
you just call
reading
me
it.
cool?
I would say you're a cool guy, Underground. Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
definitely a cool
yeah, I'd
guy.
say you're cool.
I give it
But
a 7.5. Is that okay?
no, that's fine. That's a great score. I really would give it honestly a 10 out of 10 just because it did everything I wanted it to in a comic book, and I keep finding myself picking it up and rereading it. And what's up with the paper? Anybody notice that? It's like old school, but not. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
it's a little
explain.
different, like an older comic.
Yeah, but it's like better quality than an older comic. Like, I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
it.
I
Oh
noticed
yeah,
that too, and it's a little bit thicker too.
Yeah,
yes
so
it
I don't
is.
know. I kind of want comic books to be more like this because it feels like an experience that you would have had if you grew up in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s where you don't know what's going to happen next. Like, you have no fucking idea. Because I feel like they're keeping a really good lockdown about the story for this. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going on. That's what I'm trying to point out.
It's a good setup. We'll see how it goes. Issue number 2 is really going to tell you how this is going to be.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Um, but anyway, let's talk about something funny here as we get ready to talk about Punisher. I'm going to sidetrack yet again. Um, I want to talk about the funny thing that happens because in our little community, in our little group of people, you still have smaller communities like us. We hang out and talk together. You have other people that hang out and talk together because we're not a collective. Everybody's not thinking the same thing, so we all kind of.
Yo, my bad to interrupt you. I just got a phone call. I had someone try and get a Kong and the Planet of the Apes #1 for me because it sold out everywhere, and I got it in stock finally. But what did I miss?
That's cool. That's cool. Um, so basically, what I was saying was, it's funny because we have these little groups of people that we kind of cling to that have mutual interests. Because we're not a collective. Everybody thinks that, oh, the comics gators, they're all a collective and they all,
No.
they don't
Oh
think
no,
for themselves.
no.
When it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
The other people that are always trying to call us out always use the exact
Yeah.
same tactics and wording every time. And
The
like,
thing is about us is nobody has the same opinions. Everyone likes to
no,
talk with each other.
Oh yeah,
because we're all different.
Yeah, exactly.
yep,
We don't even have the same avatars. Look at our avatars. We're like completely different.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not going to all think the same thing. And
No, we
just like
don't.
even in our community, we have many communities that hang out with each other.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we really don't like SJW society and the characteristics and
Well,
things like that.
nobody really if everyone's honest with themselves, nobody likes SJW.
No,
I would
not even
agree. Yes,
SJW. But
because like,
once they get in that club, they're afraid to get out of that club.
oh man, like, no, people gotta just bite the bullet and leave. Like, I know a couple people who are like, yeah, like there was a time where, I've like my politics were like once
You
left-ish.
mean leave the country?
Oh no, I don't mean like leave the. You see, people always say I'm going to leave the country, but then they never leave the country because
Yeah.
they
He's
like,
talking about just leave those social circles.
yeah, like, yeah,
Yeah.
like leave those. So yeah, basically, but and like I started talking to people of every different type of political persuasion, like, and people who are good people, they're going to be good people, and I'm not concerned with like the politics of it. Like, you just got to focus on you and make and do better for yourself, and then
Be butter.
be better,
Hey,
basically.
I just got someone followed me on Twitter. Their name is Irate Sexual Abuse Accusation Responses.
Oh my gosh.
That's their name on
Oh,
Twitter.
oh my gosh.
Well,
And then the other person that followed me is I am just normal Korean.
I just had to block somebody earlier from the chat that was trying to trash talk Polo.
No, that was me fucking around on my other channel.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to protect you, man.
I know, I appreciate that. It was the
I
comment
wouldn't
that
let
said
it.
Polo's trash, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was me. That was me
I wasn't going to
trolling
let
that.
them pull a Mark Wade.
No, I'll show. I'm here now. Look, I just typed in the chat. No, I had to log out of my other account.
All right, you puppet. Your sock puppet account.
I got a lot of accounts on everything.
trying to say was, we have these communities, and what we need to remember is to not, even though we're in these communities, is to not try to be, and they don't do it on purpose, but not to accidentally fall into those same tropes that the SJWs do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like,
Yeah.
if
Well,
you want to
I would
find
say
out what people
the
think,
biggest way to see if someone's being an SJW is, are they being emotional? Because it's always emotions. Think about it.
yes, and they always have
Yes.
to tell you that you're wrong and you can't have your own opinion.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
they're mad. They are upset. They're sad or angry or feeling some type of way. That's a
So
SJW.
if you really want to prove that, like when a big comic book or something comes out, go on your Twitter and say, I didn't really like it. And you'll find out exactly
Yeah.
exactly who is there for the drama. And I found that out this past week. Because
Yeah.
I didn't
Really
really
didn't
like.
like you. You legitimately didn't like parts of it though, right? Like you weren't just doing that to troll. You like legit didn't even. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't like it,
That's
and I
what I
also
thought.
didn't like parts of the Punisher, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And
Yeah.
people were just like flat
Oh.
out telling me like you're wrong and all this kind of stuff. Blah blah.
Hey,
It's just like the
I gotta
Amos
come clean
run.
about. I gotta come clean about Punisher. I've been picking up Platoon since it came out, and I've been loving it. And I fucking issue, and I've read. Oh my bad, I cussed Underground.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's one
I'm
demerit.
probably not supposed to cuss, huh?
One demerit.
All right, I won't cuss. But I didn't read issue number 3. Has anyone read Platoon 3?
I haven't actually. I haven't started that
I haven't
series.
read any of them.
You guys haven't been reading it?
I haven't read any of it.
Oh, what? No, if you
Yeah.
like Punisher and you like war comics, it's like the best comic book that Marvel's putting out.
I've been
Interesting.
watching like video reviews of it just because there's so many books out. I just watch the video reviews.
Yeah.
Did you watch Diversity review Punisher Platoon?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forget
because I'm a
what was his
fanboy. Like
opinion
I do
again?
everything that he does, Polo.
What was his opinion? Shut up. What was his opinion again?
He liked it.
He
He
liked
liked.
it. He thought it
Yeah.
was very accurate to actual like warfare.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the second issue was even better than the first one, and so I'm kind of kicking myself that I haven't read the third one, but I have it. I just need to fucking open it.
We'll do it
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about to right now.
right now. But so
What
now that we've
what
got,
Punisher Max did you read?
I read the whole run,
Oh, like how many issues?
like 16 issues.
16?
Come on.
Yeah,
Let me see what I have.
like I sat down and like binge read the whole thing.
Wow.
Ew, I have the fucking Becky Cloonan issues. God, I hate myself for buying them.
Oh god. Well,
Okay, the reason I bought them is because Steve Dillon died, first of all. And so I wanted to support the run because he worked on it.
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I really like him. I think
You do
Preacher
you,
is like
Polo.
one of the best. You guys don't like Preacher?
No.
I haven't watched Preacher.
No, not really the TV show. I was talking about the comic, but yeah, you guys got to check out Preacher. That's like one of the best comic books of all time.
There's a comic book of this?
Preacher, yeah, it's a Vertigo comic. You know, DC is more adult print. Vertigo.
I've been sarcastic.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
You didn't
Garth
catch on to
Ennis
my
is
joke.
great. Sorry, I'm high as fuck right now.
But I stopped watching Punisher after not Punisher, but Preacher after the end of the first season.
I didn't even finish the first season. I just like the comic.
Just because they took like all the good characters that I like and then turned them into awful people and then killed them all.
Oh gosh.
Well, the second season looks a lot better, that's for sure. At least the trailer. I don't know. The trailer looks cool. I gotta find the trailer.
That's right, Dank Demon. Venom comics are really good right now.
Oh yeah, Venom. Venom is like that's one Marvel title I've been consistently getting since I first found out about it. I like how Eddie is back as Venom. They're doing well, and right now it's Craven versus Venom, which is supposedly I think it's their first meeting as characters in any type of continuity, which is interesting. And they didn't disappoint. It didn't disappoint at all.
I guess I should pick up Venom, but I picked up the first one and I was like, why is there dinosaurs underground? What's going on? Why did I pay $5?
that was the past
The,
storylines and stuff kind of put into this one.
yeah. And to be quite
That's
honest, they did Moon Girl very well in that. She was like a regular kid who was smart, but she wasn't like lording it over Venom that I'm smarter than you. Because Venom
yeah.
because Venom was like basically telling her like I warned you not to go into the sewers, you've lost your dinosaur and all this stuff like that. And she's like, okay, we have to go back and get him. And he's like, no, we should probably get some more qualified people to do it. And she
Yes.
was like, she was acting like a little girl, and that kind of touched Eddie slash Venom's heart. And he was like, okay, we're gonna go and get your friend. So they did some teamwork together. They got control. They did a very unique way of getting control of Devil Dinosaur again, and it was well done. And Eddie has become like, I still think he's the anti-hero, but he's becoming more heroic, which is pretty good.
Yeah, see, I
Yeah,
picked up
he's
the
a lot like
Venom
a
that
Bruce.
was like, my bad, Underground, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just talking about, I picked up the Venom that it said, like, we're back, and it looked like it had Eddie Brock on the cover, but I read the inside, and it was some guy with brown, long hair. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's that homeless marine, and I feel like they really shouldn't have done that story. Like I can see where they're tying it into they're tying it back in because they brought him back, and basically it's
Yeah,
going to clear him of the charges because Venom is active right now and he's supposed to be Venom, but
Trevino, do you mean Catholic, or are you saying really Christian? I think you mean
well, he
Catholic,
talks to
right?
that priest. Remember that part where he was talking to the priest? Venom was by himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Eddie,
that's what he's referring to.
yeah. Eddie was a Catholic, but then he kind of like wavered in his faith, but he's been going back because he trusts this priest, and then the symbiote began talking with the priest as well, and the priest had a very good dialogue with the symbiote, saying that we all have our faults, we all have everything that down, but it's all about doing good, and the priest's words basically inspired the symbiote to say, okay, we're going to be a protector and we're going to be a hero. So that was I thought that was pretty nice dialogue. It was like it was well done writing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the point is to make you actually feel something for the symbiote.
Venom is one of those books that I just don't want to pay $5 to read every week. So I'll pick
It
up.
shouldn't be $5. That's just ridiculous.
I'll buy the trade. I'll definitely read the story, you know what I mean? Like, but I'll buy the trade for like 40% off or some shit, so I don't have to pay all that.
Yeah, anybody that hasn't bought it should definitely go on in stock trades and get it on trade paperback when it comes out.
Yeah.
How much do they charge on there?
It's very low shipping and it's like half off,
I
so
knew it was
it's
half
well
off,
worth it.
but yeah, I can get that same deal from my local comic store basically. Well, it's like 40% off, but still.
Look, not everybody's as cool as you, Polo.
Oh no, I was just trying to like let the gang know. You feel me? If anybody needs a book, let
Gang,
me
gang,
know.
gang, gang.
But
Um,
yeah, Venom. I'll pick up the trade. I'm not gonna buy weekly Venom books.
yeah. Oh, I understand. I mean, and that's why mainly the only reason I do it is to like support my local LCS.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will buy the ones that I know for a fact is going to be good
yeah.
because I just want to keep them alive.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'm the sole reason a few stores are alive actually because I'll throw hundreds every week and they're not getting any other customers.
What's bad is my LCS got to where they were having like maybe 5 or 6 issues a week every week when they came out.
Yeah.
And so I basically took the time and I made a list. I wrote down all of the comic books that are good right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave them that list and I said, order every one of these comics.
Yeah.
And if you order at least one copy, I'll get them.
Yeah.
So then they started ordering like 2 or 3 copies and they started picking back up. And I'm like, guys, you've got to research these things. You're in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. Every store I go to, I know more about comics than the people that work there.
Yeah. Because they're at this point where they don't really read it anymore. They used to read it, but now they're older and stopped reading it. And it's like you're really going to have to get somebody to order your comics that like is a fan of comics right
You know,
now.
it's funny. The only store actually that the owner knows what he's talking about and reads the books is the one that's open. The one that I told you guys about. Remember the one that's
Mhm.
open till like midnight or some shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. He knows what he's talking about. Everyone else around here does no clue. They're just like, oh, we have pop. Like the toys.
Yeah. Don't even
Oh,
get me started on those Funkos. Oh my
God,
gosh.
we have
oh
Funko
no.
Pop.
They are this generation's Beanie Baby.
Yeah, dead ass. Yeah.
Yeah, I never got the I never got the appeal of like a Funko doll at all. I
I
never got.
have the.
I
I'll have
understand.
to admit, Underground's gonna kill me for this, but I have all of the Dark Knight Returns Funko Pop.
Well, I'll tell you the story of, I don't know if you've seen a couple of those pictures of, though I posted on Twitter of those little Justice League characters. I got hooked on those because you could buy like a surprise box, and then when you open up, you
Oh
find out
yeah,
what
those are
character it
dope.
is,
Any
and then
any
they turn
toys
out to
that
be
are a
Funkos.
surprise are fun. Yeah. Oh shit.
They turned out to be Funkos, and I was so mad
Are you talking about like a
because
monthly box that you get or something? Like a what's
no,
that
they
called?
had like they had this little display of like 20 figures in a box, and you could like get
Sweet.
one box at a time for like $4 or $5.
You got to show me this. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Donna, I'm probably going to get Batman Annual. It just depends on if they have it or not at my LCS. But
Okay,
I'll show you.
why is Liam Sharp saying that no comic stores aren't ordering Batman and Wonder Woman Brave and the Bold?
I don't know. Let's see what he's talking
You know
about
what I'm
here.
talking about, right? That new book that Liam Sharp is doing.
Yeah, the Brave and the Bold. They're not ordering it.
Yeah, I guess a bunch of stores aren't really ordering it. That's what he was saying.
Interesting.
That's just bad. That's bad merchandising right there.
I know. Like it's funny because if I didn't follow Liam Sharp on Twitter, I wouldn't have known that it was coming out.
That's bad. I feel bad for him because if he's out
Who
there
think
trying to tell
about it? Who
people
else?
and then DC isn't.
Yeah, DC's not talking about it. No one in DC's talking about it.
There's a Batman saturation right now. They need to be really careful with this because
Well, I just read that Batman Prince Dark Charming. Oh my God, it was so bad. I don't understand why people like it.
what
Uh
I hated
oh.
it. It
what
was
did you
like
just say to me?
it had some really good art, and the story and dialogue were trash. And why did the Joker look like? Uh, I don't even know. I did not like it though.
Because the artist is British.
Dude, I don't
He's
even
British.
know.
He's not
I
from
literally
here.
felt like I was reading an amalgam of a Dark Knight Christopher Nolan fan fiction mixed with um, a good Batman story.
You just crushed my dream.
No,
Oh well.
okay. Like I said, the art was great. I liked the art. Did not like the Joker, and I hated the story and dialogue. But I did like the art.
Did you know what's cool about those books though? That's their comic books. That hardback that you bought.
Yeah, I know. I have. You ever heard of Bad
That
Boy by Frank Miller?
sure.
You haven't heard of it?
No.
Oh, it's another UK book. It's only hardback.
See, I
But
don't
yeah,
buy
like
anything
the
overseas, so
Killing
like I'm a
Joke
total noob on
was
that.
only hardback, and that's another UK book, right? Aren't they from the?
I didn't like the Killing Joke.
See, I like it. I just I don't know. I don't know why people don't like that one. So you don't really like? Do you even really like Watchmen Underground?
Hold on just a second. Yeah, Trevino, Gordon does vape in a comic, and Batman like trashes him really hard about it too. So it's really
Thank
funny.
you. What the fuck was that shit?
It was so funny because they like called out every every paper, and the Batman's like, "You look ridiculous."
Yeah.
We know you vape, Polo. It's okay.
No, fuck that. But
No, man.
I
What were
forgot
you
what I
saying
was gonna
about
say.
Watchmen?
Oh, I was gonna say, do you even like Watchmen? You seem like you don't really like Alan Moore.
I do like the Watchmen, and I especially like the movie.
Did you see the director's cut of the movie?
I probably have because I've watched it a lot of times.
It's a lot. It's significantly longer. That's why I was wondering.
I may not have then if it's that much longer.
Um, but what's it called? Yeah. So, have you read Saga of the Swamp Thing?
Is that UK?
No, I mean it's Alan Moore.
Oh no. See, I'm not that big of a fan of Swamp Thing. when I was a kid, they had the TV show, and I was a fan of that, but the comic not so much.
And yeah, I like the TV show.
Yeah, I don't know
So
much
do I need to
about
put that
Swamp
on my
Thing.
reading list? Is that a good one?
You got to pick up Saga of the Swamp Thing Volume 1, yeah. So just Volume 1.
Okay, everybody. Oh, is that a new one?
No. Saga of the Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody get Saga of the Swamp Thing that's in the comment section right now. Try that out.
Yeah, I'm sure
Did you
lot of
see?
people. I'll send a link. Hold up.
I'm confused right now about Swamp Thing because they're doing that winter special that's coming out.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
I cannot wait for that.
But I think that they're also doing a run.
Are they really?
So I'm confused. Like I think that they're doing that, but they're also doing like a mini run.
Who's the creative team on the run?
I'm not sure because I know Tom King's doing I think the winter special.
Is YouTube going to let me send a link? It's not, huh?
No, it's not. You've been
Damn.
flagged.
All right, so I got to start a
Inappropriate
Twitter.
language.
I'll start a Twitter group with all y'all.
Yeah, start a Twitter group and then kick everybody else out of it.
Okay, who how do I add the other peeps?
I'm not sure. All right, so I think we've procrastinated enough.
Let's talk about the Punisher. Let's talk about the Punisher.
This is the hardcore fans that we're going to get right now. These are the people that matter. Everybody that's in this stream right now, you're the real MVP.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, I see your link
anybody that
wants
to listen to me talk, you're the real MVP. I don't know why anyone would want to listen to me talk.
I mean, really. I should have got Grand Comics on here so that he could just like.
God damn it! How is he not on here? I'm gonna message him.
send him the link. We'll be like, he'll just go on here and he'll be like, "Hey Donna."
Why isn't Kill Slam on here? Kill Slam is
Donna.
funny.
Kill Slam cannot be on here. I will have to put this rated restricted.
He's gonna see this and then hate us.
Well, invite him to come to the live stream of course.
All right.
But so anyway, so we got the Punisher here, and I wrote down some notes very quickly because, man, today was one of those days. I don't know if you've ever had one of those days, but it seems just like nothing's going right, and you're in a hurry, and
you're talking about
rough.
Today?
The internet went down, and Polo don't have that problem because he's like a rich guy that has a sugar mama. So
I have the fucking prime time, highest, most expensive Wi-Fi. Like I'd never lose internet ever.
That's good.
Yeah, it sucks.
So
it's expensive.
See here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you each separately some questions about the Punisher, and then I'm going to tell you what I think about it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with, since Polo's a little busy right now, we'll start with Master Chudy. Master Chudy, if you could rank this Polo Netflix show a 1 to 5, what would you rank it?
Well, I'm still checking it out, still watching it, but you see, the thing is that when I first saw The Punisher on Daredevil Season 2, people initially told me, like, oh, man, this Punisher is great. And, I could see it, but at the same time, he didn't really look like a Frank Castle to me.
No.
He just looked like somebody else.
I feel that.
Because
he was a guy wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, and because to me...
Shit, is my mic on?
People have this... To me, Thomas Jane
Yeah.
is the Punisher to me, because I saw that movie and I thought it was like very...
Did you see Dirty Laundry?
I didn't, and I should, because I know that he came back and said, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm like, this guy is essentially the Punisher. I saw his movie of the Punisher. I thought it was well done. And I was like, and before when the Punisher was coming out, I was like, hope they really get Thomas Jane to do the Punisher, and they didn't do it. So, even though I'm still trying to, like,
there's a theory that Punisher was in one of the Captain America movies.
If it's probably got to be Winter Soldier then, if it's anything like that.
Which one is the one where they rushed Fury in the black SUV? Remember?
Oh, that was Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah. So supposedly there's a yellow Penske van that hits either a cop car or one of the cars, and that's supposed to be the Punisher.
Huh.
Oh
Okay.
wow, interesting.
So a number 1 through 5, Master Chudy, what do you think?
I give it a 3, basically.
Hmm.
You
Middle
know,
of the road, man.
yeah, middle of the road. I mean, there's some things that are good about it. There's some things that obviously couldn't be done. Like when I think of a Punisher, I don't need. Punisher is one of those books where like no type of politics should be involved unless it's like maybe some local wheeling and dealing corrupt politician that's doing all of this stuff, and Frank gets to take him out, and he's working with the mob. Like that's as far as politics I want to have dealt with in a Punisher series. Like that's it. Like if there's going to be politics in it, maybe the mayor is working with the Italian mob or something. When he starts saying like, "Oh, veterans are veterans are killing people because they're disgruntled," and this, that, and everybody like that, I'm like, it deviates from what Frank Castle's about.
My
Basically,
bad.
Exactly. They keep using
My
these
bad,
same
Trudy.
things over and over in a circle, and it's just exhausting. It's like, are you trying to be SJW or are you just unoriginal?
Underground. Did you say just to confirm you did want Kill Slam invited or you didn't?
Uh,
Because he's the only one that's responded so far. So I was just giving you a heads up.
well, I don't know if I can handle 3 people at one time. I think I'm going to get confused.
Okay, that's understandable.
Because
Well,
I
maybe
want to keep this
I'll
control where I can ask you guys questions.
if Trudy wants to dip ever, then I'll invite him. But otherwise, it'll just be us three.
So now you're trying to kick Master Chudy off.
I'm
no,
not
no,
trying to
no,
kick
no,
anybody
no,
off.
no, 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 no.
I'm just
No,
saying,
it's all
like, if
good.
he need I don't know, if you need to have dinner or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
what the
that's
hell.
probably
So,
that is.
so like you just need to go take another Valium because you're so chill.
But we'll see what happens. I may or may not dip. I may or may not
Yeah.
dip, but we'll see what
You
happens.
give
Like if
it.
Trudy knows I wasn't trying to kick him out.
oh yeah, I know. I mean,
So
if
you give it a 3 out of 5. You give it a 3 out of 5, Master Chudy.
yeah, I do.
What would you say some good things about this show was?
I have to go with the brutality. I would say that brutality is
Yeah,
definitely Punisher-esque. Like,
I
if there's
agree.
one
The
thing that
first
every
episode,
Punisher,
man. The first episode was so
Polo, let
fucking
him
good.
talk.
but yeah, but if it's all good. But if there's any type of thing that all Punisher movies or any type of Punisher medium has in common, it's that brutality. And so I'm glad that they didn't try to mince words with or mince anything with Frank Castle being like, "I'm going to kill somebody." They kept
Yeah,
it true to how the Punisher does. So yeah. And I guess the other
yeah, because
stuff.
he don't need no gun. Like they have him using guns most of the time. He don't need no gun.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
Keep going. You're on a roll.
And then basically, I guess the con, and then the con of it is basically, all of the peripheral stuff. Like you have so many things happening. Like, oh, Frank Punisher works when there's a specific threat on the city level or maybe the local level, and there's like some type of corruption or there's some type of like, something's going wrong. Have a focus on that and not like add in other stuff to like make you think. There's nothing really to think about the Punisher. You know what he's about. You don't need to
No,
educate people on everything. Just have him do that.
no,
That's pretty much it.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the Ennis run where Micro sits the Punisher down, and he's basically got the Punisher dead to rights, and he says, "Look, this is a situation. This is the yes or fu moment. Okay?" He says, "You're either going to join us or it's fu." And he looks at him, and they basically have the Punisher drawn like Clint Eastwood at this point. He looks just like a juiced up Clint Eastwood. And he looks at Micro and he says, Micro just give this big long speech. It went on like for 1 or 2 pages. And he looks at Micro and he says, "So it's yes or fu?" He's like, "Yep." He said, "Then it's fu." Because the Punisher don't need nobody. He especially don't need the government. And he is out to do his thing. He's out to punish. And it doesn't matter who it is. If they do something that he deems is punishable, they're punished.
Yep.
But so you like the brutality. Um, so
Yeah, I was referencing the sledgehammer scene in the first episode, March.
oh yeah.
Oh.
Also, Dank Demon Venom movie will probably be sick because Tom Hardy's a badass.
I can
Yeah,
believe
the
that.
Venom movie is going to be good regardless. Like they could have a budget of like $50 million, and because Tom Hardy's in it, he's going to make it work.
Well, did you all see the other movie he was in? Fuck, what's it called?
Bronson.
I
Oh,
don't think I don't think I
the
have.
two twins.
Yeah, the twin with the twins. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Legend.
Legend. Yeah, he was really good in that one
I
too.
haven't.
That was great. Yeah,
You need to watch it if you haven't. It's a really good movie. It's
yeah,
like there's
definitely
two
watch
twins.
Legend.
There's the it's the classic case of one twin is like overly eccentric, and then the other twin is like the dominant like caretaker of that twin, and they're
It
both
reminded me of what
gangsters
goes
like
on in
coming up
my
in the
head all
world.
day.
But so tell me some things that you already told me some of it, but tell me some of the things that you didn't like about the Punisher run Master Chief that you think they could have changed to make it a little bit better.
Like what I think they could have done, like when I was like a kid and the Punisher video game based on the 2004 movie came out, I
Yeah,
thought they could have done it like that, where like as Trevino said, like gang Frank Castle versus gangs is a lot more interesting than him versus the government, because it just
yeah,
gets
Yeah,
because we're so tired of resist the government at this point.
yeah. So
he
basically,
basically he's
yeah.
basically like Jason Bourne with guns.
He's like Jason Bourne, but if like Jason Bourne like bit your trachea out.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, so I would have him like this would have been a good way to like revamp somebody like Jigsaw and put him there, have him like
Well,
a villain.
he's coming. You're not done, but he's coming.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's good to well that's good to know. Like that's the thing you could have like had him focus on like on Jigsaw, which is why I liked Daredevil season 1 and season 2. Well, I like season 1 of Daredevil a lot more, is because okay, yes, this is his origin story, but he's focusing on the Kingpin. Kingpin is your villain. Daredevil wasn't going around like saying, maybe I'll take on Shield's corruption or anything. No, Kingpin. That was his focus.
Yeah,
Even with Luke Cage, and Luke Cage, I'm a little bit on. Luke Cage was focusing on what was happening in his city. He wasn't like, oh yeah. He
yeah.
wasn't like Black Panther and the crew, like, let me fight some gentrification on the side. No, this dude was messing with him. I'm gonna take him down. Jessica Jones, same
Yes,
thing.
like
She wasn't looking for the boss. That's well. I guess the Purple Man technically was doing some sexual assault ish, but it was the Purple Man, and that's what he does. So yeah.
yes, I totally agree. Let me type this in here. So, Polo, let me ask you 1 through 5. What do you think?
What'd you say?
1 through 5. What do you give the Punisher? You watched
Out
the
of
show?
10? Yeah, no, I finished the show. Out of 10? Okay, here's
One
the
out of
thing.
five.
Oh, 1 out of 5?
Are you on your yellow submarine right now?
Okay, you're confusing me. 5 stars out of 10, pick one.
No,
1 through 5.
1 through 5, basically.
1 through 5?
Yes, that makes it harder because then you have to generalize and it conflicts you.
Okay, are we talking about in context of all film ever, or within the MCU, or within the Netflix like universe?
We're
Just the
talking we're talking about the Punisher as a show on its own of the Punisher, how it
So like
relates
just like to other Punisher films, or just to all film ever?
to
just the Punisher. You rate the
just the
Netflix
Punishers.
Punisher show.
Yeah. Like how does it compare to what we know about the Punisher?
Okay, so you're talking about what you know about the Punisher. Well, I don't know. It was the thing is like the Punisher is a really tough character to get right for a lot of reasons, because
It is.
he's
That's
kind
why
of like
Thomas
this
Jane was so
comic
good.
book. Yeah, well, he was good, but in some scenes I was like, what? This isn't the Punisher. Like it was cool, but
Yeah.
it was very like in its time, and I think that this is kind of another example of that. It's very much in its time, so I think it's going to feel like, you know how you like the Thomas Jane Punisher movie, but obviously there's parts that feel dated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this is going to be also. Like, it's a good show, but there's going to be so much of it that's going to feel dated in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So to me, that makes me almost appreciative of like the original like Dolph Lundgren Punisher, because you know
Yeah.
it's gonna feel dated, but there's like a grittiness to it that feels almost more like the comic books than say like this Netflix Punisher show. But if you have only read like the Garth Ennis Max run, you'll probably love this show. So I don't know what to
Okay.
give
So
it
he did it,
out of
guys.
5.
He brought up
Giving it a
Garth
rating,
Ennis
giving it a
run.
rating is too difficult for me. I don't know.
He brought up the Garth Ennis run, and he brought up the Punisher show, which is going to go into what I'm going to talk about later on today or tonight. But so you can't rate it 1 through 5. You can't get it like a 4.8 or something.
It's just like I feel like I've only seen the series one time, so it wouldn't be fair for me to rate it. I usually like to rate
How
things
good did
after I've
you
seen it
feel?
multiple times. How
How good
good
did
did
you
I
feel when you
feel?
got done with the show? Hmm
Uh,
Did you feel
okay,
like
so
you
for
accomplished
me,
something, or did you feel like you just got
I
done
feel
with
like
like college homework?
um no, I felt good when I finished the show. But the thing is I'm kind of biased because I'm a
Hmm
really big Punisher fan. Like, and I'm also a new Punisher fan. Like, I got into the Punisher like probably around Daredevil season 1. And so I really got into the Punisher. So I had really high expectations for the Punisher TV show. And I felt like Daredevil season 2 kind of was a mini Punisher series, like, because
Yeah,
a lot of it was, you know what I mean? So I feel like I had really high expectations, and I don't feel like most of the season delivered to that. It was more like only half of the season did.
exactly.
And it
Um,
sucks because I don't even want to say that because I'm not trying to talk trash about it. I'm being honest, you know.
yeah. There was something else I was going to ask you about it. What do you think were some things that they could have improved upon besides those things that you just said?
Well, the things that they could have improved upon would be, I know this sounds like cheap or shallow, but I don't really care. They should have had Punisher kill at least one person every episode. Think that would have been
Exactly.
like I think that would have been
Yeah.
something that would have kept me interested, even if, like, for example, I cared about the story and I cared about the characters, but not as much as I should have,
Yeah.
if that
Well,
makes sense.
I think that they treated it like a show that was 30 something episodes.
They treated it like it was
That,
like it was almost like watching like a CW show but with more violent scenes in it, like, or
yeah.
something. I don't even know.
There was a lot of filler.
It was a lot of filler, and it wasn't like the filler wasn't good. It was just that there wasn't as much violence as I wanted there to be.
Yeah. And when
Oh
there's
my
like
gosh.
extreme violence for about 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. And it would be like, I don't know. I didn't know whether I should take that dude seriously or not. The blonde guy.
The blonde guy.
The with I don't want to spoil. Are we doing spoilers or?
Yeah, you can talk a little bit about it. But you don't have to tell like the story, but you tell like who everybody is. Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about the soldier.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
with the bomb. Yeah.
The PTSD soldier, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh boy.
I feel like he was a little bit over the top, not over the top, but like I feel like he was like he wasn't very self-aware, and I wish that he was more self-aware or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I understand. So
Because I feel like as a soldier you have to be self-aware, right? So
Oh yeah.
oh
it was
yeah.
like I understand that you have PTSD, but you don't have to show me that with every little Heath Ledger shake that you do. Like, goddamn.
So I'm gonna ask both you guys if you had to put these in like a 1 through 5 of each one of the shows so far on Netflix, like how would you rate each one of them?
Somebody
Well,
said Frank does his primal autism roar. I feel like I've seen that
He
comment
did it
all
all
over.
the
I feel like
time.
I've seen that comment all over YouTube and Twitter.
It got to the point where I was just tired of hearing him do it because it seemed like he done it like every 5 seconds.
I feel like it was kind of it kind of originated in the courtroom, right? In Daredevil.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And in that point it was like kind of not really earned.
Well,
uh,
I'm confused because I feel like that Punisher. It almost feels like the Punisher that's on Daredevil is the Punisher that comes after this Punisher. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
yeah,
it feels
that
like
makes a lot
I
of
feel like he
sense.
backtracked.
Yeah, yeah. But I think in the continuity it's not that way, right?
Well, the Punisher to me, I seem like he's always been that way ever since the beginning, and it's just that when it was waiting to get out, and when his family got killed, it was like, here's my personality, guys, get ready.
Dark Philly
Yeah.
said Purple Man was all up in that.
What did she say?
I don't know. Is she talking about Jessica Jones?
Yeah, Jessica Jones, because I brought up like, when I said that all the characters, like how all the characters from each of these Netflix shows weren't chasing some imaginary like villain like gentrification. And when I was getting to Jessica Jones, I said that she wasn't really trying to go after the boss that was like sexually assaulting people. But then I remembered, oh yeah, well, Purple Man was basically doing all of this type of heinous sexual stuff to women. So
Purple Man is the best thing about Marvel Netflix. I'm gonna say right now.
Oh, did you like him?
Are you? Yeah. Have you read Daredevil Yellow?
No.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat should check out Daredevil Yellow. It's by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It's probably the best interpretation of Purple Man. That's not like a classic story, but it's like early 2000s. Yeah, Purple Man is basically the Joker for Daredevil.
That's cool.
interesting.
But yeah, check out Daredevil Yellow.
So if you guys had to, since you can't really rate them, if you guys had to say like what's the best show that's come out so far on Netflix, and what's the worst one?
I would say the best for me, because it just hit me at how well done it was, has to be Daredevil. I think Daredevil is basically the show that was it was gritty, it was dark. Maybe people like saying, well, it's not it didn't have that Marvel, like it was like a Marvel book, but
Yeah,
it was still like it's Daredevil. It's a dark character. I thought they did him well. I liked a lot of the characters. I liked Stick. I liked
yeah,
Kingpin, and to be quite honest, like, Michael Clark Duncan, who did Kingpin and who did Kingpin in the first Daredevil movie, God rest his soul, he was a great man. I did like his take on the Kingpin in that movie,
yeah.
but this dude who played Kingpin in Daredevil got him like he looked like Kingpin, maybe a shorter, stockier version, but that was Kingpin.
He was
And
him to a T. I felt like that was some of the best casting they've ever done.
Kingpin?
oh yeah, yeah,
Yes.
Kingpin.
Yeah. No, I agree 100% with Trudy. Daredevil is the best thing that happened to Netflix. And that kind of bums me out because I wanted to like the other shows.
Yeah,
But, like, why didn't Iron Fist get a yellow mask? Okay, that's so stupid, by the way. Matt Murdock wears, like, Jessica's scarf as a mask. Like, you remember the gray mask that he puts on?
oh
Yes. Oh, I
god.
remember it.
Yeah. So he wears that as a mask. Why couldn't they have done that for uh uh wow, I'm blanking on his name.
um, Danny
Danny.
Rand.
Why couldn't they have put that on Danny instead and made it yellow? Like, are you kidding?
Well,
See, here's my
they've definitely pumped Danny Rand. Like Danny Rand is now like the joke of the Defenders right now.
Well, he was
which is
cool. He was cool in the Defenders, but he wasn't that cool in his own show.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I heard. Like he was like, but apparently like the actor bulked up for Defenders. Like he's looking more muscular. He's looking
Yeah,
everything
he
like.
he did a lot better in Defenders. In his own show, it's kind of like, what, dude?
Well, hopefully he gets better in that. But to get to the costume point, I'm always a fan of actors getting into the original comic suits. Like,
Season or episode 4, Luke Cage. That was the best episode
yeah,
with the exactly what you're talking about, where he wore the Remember?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But
He put on like the
Remember?
yellow vest or whatever for like a
yes,
second.
Remember?
yes.
Yeah, is that the one where he walks in there with like the yellow like inside of his hoodie or whatever, and just goes to beating on people?
No. Chudy's talking about when actors wear like the original costume, and I was referencing episode 4 in Luke Cage when he puts on like he has like the head crown on, and
Yeah.
he has like the
Oh,
chain.
when he actually does the change, like they put him in
Yeah,
the suit and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know what you're talking
Like
about
it works. Like it looks good. Like for example, like when you look at look at Black Panther. Black Panther, suit looks it's different, but it's close to the original. Bam. You have you can't of course Iron Man has to be in his suit. Captain
Wait, are you
America.
talking about in Civil War or in the movie Black Panther?
Well, I'm talking about actors putting on the actual original suits, whatever. I always appreciate that. Like like which is why when I saw Elektra in Daredevil, I'm like, don't get me wrong, the actress who did Elektra, fantastic. But when I saw her suit, I'm like,
That's the suit from Ultimate Marvel. Remember Ultimate Marvel?
yeah, I remember Ultimate, and
I think that's that suit, right?
yeah, but nothing beats the classic Elektra suit,
Oh
which
well,
is
yeah.
something that
That's
has which is which is like, and the thing is like technically, and I understand that she was trying to do stuff incognito and in disguise and everything like that, but it just looked
well. If they were gonna do the original suit, they might as well recast her altogether because that girl wouldn't look that great in that suit. I don't think.
No, she's way too skinny for that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I figured,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, the original Electra Nachios by Frank Miller is a thick woman.
And
A
that's the
secret
problem with a lot
empire,
of these
like a secret
castings.
empire stack.
That's the problem with a lot of these castings here lately is they keep casting these people. They keep casting these daggum people because they're good actors, and they don't cast them because they look like the characters, and it flipping sucks.
Well, and I feel like the thing is are they really good actors?
I thought she
Well,
was good. I thought she was really good.
yeah, I thought she was good, and
I,
what's his name? Cox, who plays Daredevil, I think is a good Matt Murdock. Um,
Yeah, I liked it too. At first, I was kind of worried about him, but he's a really good actor in general, and I think he kind of gives the character a lot of depth.
hey, he gives me hope because I have not as bad a receding hairline as him.
don't tell Sasha that we're in here talking about him, by the way, or she'll be popping up in the comment section.
oh, but
But
yeah, I think but like you said about casting characters who like they used to do that, and the thing is like you used to find characters who would look like the character, but they were also good actors. Like when Marvel was starting out with its movies, like you had Patrick Stewart, Professor X on the spot. Yes, you
perfect.
had
Well, that was technically Sony, by the way.
well that
I,
was yeah that was Sony at the time, but and then you look at even with the guy who played Marsden, basically who played Cyclops. I thought that looked like Scott Summers. I
yeah,
thought
he
Perfect.
that
It's
did.
perfect.
I thought, and then of course Hugh Jackman. Thought that was a
Yes.
great Wolverine.
Okay, Hugh Jackman's too tall.
I know he's too
Yeah,
tall.
but they
I
they
know
make
about
it
the
work though. They
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 make it
hide it a
work
little
because
bit.
of his look, and
That's
but
true.
they got so many people who like even Tyler Mane, who wasn't Liev Schreiber, but the first Sabretooth. He looked like Sabretooth for the
Yeah, he
time.
did look like
And he's
Sabretooth.
short too, by the way.
Oh, really? Oh, Tyler Mane?
Liv Shriver.
Or Liev Schreiber. Yeah, I know. I know he's short.
You like how Darth Maul was Toad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I first found that out, I was like blown away. I'm like, what? He was so
I know, me too. That was like the first like time that an actor had been in 2 movies that you knew as a kid. You know?
yeah. Even the
That's one of those
fantastic
pop cultural things.
yeah, even the Fantastic Four movies. Like, look, I understand people have issues with like the first two where Chris Evans was like Johnny Storm, but I thought those were like pretty good Fantastic Four movies.
Well, except for Galactus Wind.
Okay, well, that yeah, that Galactus kind of like I was like, oh my god. But
Well, they keep doing that. I don't know why they keep messing that up. Like they did the same thing with Parallax on Green
They did the
Lantern.
same thing with the fucking Hulk villain, the his
Yeah,
dad or
quit
whatever.
making the villains big gassy things. Make them
yeah,
look
that's the
physically like
thing.
the characters.
Yeah,
But the thing is like all those actors that were cast as the Fantastic Four for those movies, I thought that I thought that they were pretty good. I thought that the guy who played Mr. Fantastic was a Mr. Fantastic, and
Yeah.
Jessica
Alba.
Biel played. Oh, that
Jessica
was Al.
Alba.
Oh,
Not
Jessica
Jessica
Alba.
Biel. Jessica Biel was in Blade.
Okay, yeah, I
Jessica
forget.
Biel would have been
She
good.
was Whistler's daughter, but Jessica Alba I thought played a pretty good Sue Storm, and I don't know why people give flack to Chris Evans because I thought Chris Evans played a very Johnny Storm like character.
That
He played
He was
good.
Doctor
perfect. 'Cause
Doom.
that's how
Doctor
he
Doom
acted.
was pretty corny though.
Yeah,
Yeah, Doctor
they did.
Doom was dead on Doctor Doom, but at the same time, he was written a little bit too corny.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Yeah, he was. The costume was cool. He just was like, I don't know why he wasn't Latvian.
that. Oh, yeah, he was never Latvian. Yeah, I mean, they just said he was like European. He was some sort of European, but he was never Latvian.
Yeah,
So
Well,
that's the
and
thing.
wasn't it
little
supposed to
stuff
be
like
in
that's not
Latveria?
important to them. It's very
He was.
important to people that know about the comic books.
I feel like he was never a businessman in New York City. He always was in Latveria. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, he did. Yeah, that's true. I think
So
they
Dark Philly says, Dark Philly says, get Wesley Snipes Blade back.
Yes,
At this
yes.
point, I think he's too old.
Well,
Did anybody
he's.
hear Diversity in Comics talk about his new comic book Black Earth?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
And he
yeah.
was like, everyone's going to be Wesley Snipes Black. I was like, holy shit.
but the thing with Wesley though is that Wesley is actually still in good shape. Like he's an actual martial artist, and people keep asking him about Blade. It's like, yeah, and he's like, who do you? And one, I remember I watched an interview about him. It's like, yeah, I'd love to come back and everything like that. And then the woman asked him a question of, if you could get anybody else to play Blade, who would you say? If I could get anybody else, it'd be Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is the only one who could play. He likes he likes the character very much, and
Oh
he's
yeah.
gotten his life together. He's paid all of his debts, and he's like, yeah, I can still, and he can still fight. He
I
can
think they
still
should bring him back as a Morpheus movie.
more.
Trudy,
Yeah,
Morpheus. Do you mean Morbius?
oh, yeah,
Morbius,
yeah,
Morbius, yeah.
Morbius. Yeah,
Trudy, did you pick up Spirits of Vengeance?
I did. I
Yeah.
have both issues, and I was like, when I saw Blade looking beast, looking
Yeah,
beast. Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. We got a Mark Wade here in the comment section.
that's funny.
Mark Wade. But back to say, I just saw Blade looking like a beast. I saw Ghost Rider looking like a beast. Like
Yeah.
it was like this is it. And this is one thing I've noticed that Marvel dare not do is that they haven't messed up their darker characters much unless they shoehorn them into an event. When they're
Yeah.
on their own books separately,
Yeah,
they can do what they have to
I
do.
like Spirits of Vengeance so far. I don't know why Diversity in Comics doesn't like it, but I like it.
Well, he actually likes it, but he feels like it's not dark enough, which I get.
He
But
said it was too pretty.
well, yeah, he did. But for what it is, it's the type of book I like. Just a bunch of supernatural people trying to fight evil. So I think that's
Yeah.
Who are you
pretty
killing, Polo?
cool.
Sorry, I got a box. I just got a package, and it's a shit ton of comic books.
Hey,
Are you beating your girlfriend again?
No,
yeah,
I mean, she's Russian. You better watch out.
dude, she's crazy, man.
She might call like the Russian mob on you.
oh man,
She claims to be a Russian spy. She's like some Black Widow shit.
She's like a sleeper cell.
yeah,
Hey,
but
speaking of the Black Widow, not to cut you off, but speaking of the Black Widow, they've got a movie coming out called Red Sparrow, and it is a blatant knockoff of Black Widow. Blatant
Are you
knockoff.
serious?
Yes, I don't know if you've seen the advertisements for it, but it's got Jennifer Lawrence in it because Jennifer Lawrence said she was going to take time off and then immediately made another movie.
oh really?
But she's in it, and it starts out with, you'll have to watch the trailer, but it starts out with her sitting there in a hotel room, and the guy walks in and puts his stuff down on the nightstand and everything. He's like, "Take off your dress."
Okay, I think I
And
have
then
seen this trailer.
yeah, and then it cuts to her like killing him, and then walks out. She walks out in a different outfit with different hair,
Huh? Oh my
I've
god.
and
seen
then it's like,
that other movie Scarlett Johansson's in where she kills people. What's it called?
Lucy,
No, not Lucy.
Lucy,
It's a different one.
Ghost in the
It's
Shell.
called not Ghost in the Shell. It's called
Uh, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
I keep wanting to say Eyes Wide Shut, but it's not called Eyes Wide Shut. It's called somebody in the comments. What's that Scarlett Johansson movie where she's like an alien?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The weird one where
Under
she's
the Skin.
fleshy.
Under the Skin.
Yeah, Under the Skin. Yeah,
Yeah, that
that
was
left me
crazy.
feeling like I needed that 2 hours of my life back.
It made me feel like I had AIDS.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So anyway, that movie Red Sparrow, like the premise behind it is there are these children that are selected to become officers in the Russian military, and they're trained to be like insurgent killers, and they're women that use these as women to go in and kill unique targets. And I'm like, that's Black Widow.
Basically.
That's the same thing. And it's like, why didn't you just make a Black Widow movie?
See, I don't care what people say. I don't think a Black Widow movie would do well at all. Unless, of course, you put her against other people. Unless she's going back to her roots and is trying to take down, say, the Red Room or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, but
Wouldn't it
but
be cool if like she teamed up with Hawkeye and like went after the Red Room or something?
you see, that would be good. But you know, in the MCU, she loves Bruce Banner, which. When I watched Age of Ultron, I was like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Where is
Apparently
this
this has
coming
been
from?
like months and months, but still.
I could understand her having like a connection to the Hulk after that, after she was like traumatized in the first Avengers movie. But I was like, what is this? What's going on? What is going
You're
on?
saying to establish it, like if they had ended the first Avengers with him like saving her, and then he said something to her as the movie's ending, like, "Hey, I'm sorry," blah blah,
This is
then it would have kind
why.
of set up the next.
This is why. Like, this is why I don't like the MCU because they're doing what everybody finds cliche. Oh, heroes gotta love each other. No, no, no. Like, I miss Betty Ross. I miss. I know there are issues, but I wish whatever happened with Jane Foster's character in the MCU didn't happen. I like Pepper Potts was gone for a moment in time. Then Captain
Well,
America is like,
Jane, the character that or the actress that played Jane, like hated doing the movies. That's the reason she's not in it anymore.
yeah, I heard about that. That's unfortunate, but hey, it's like Hawkeye's the only one who was like, what the
I
heck? You
hate Hawkeye's costume. It's trash. I want him to be in the purple costume.
gotta.
And well, he's about to get a new costume. He's about to become Ronin.
I want the costume with the ears like Wolverine.
The original Hawkeye.
I
Yeah,
don't think that's gonna happen.
unfortunate. But
Because
That's
Thor really
stupid.
didn't even get his helmet. He like wore the warrior helmet for like 5 minutes in the movie.
yeah, he did. But the
So
thing is that with Thor, it kind of works without the helmet because he still has the original suit,
Yeah,
which I
he's
think
like the
is
ultimate Thor or something.
uh,
yeah, so I just got a package full of comic books from my and I was wondering why he didn't just drive them over to my house because he lives really close by. And I think it's because he damaged one of them and he feels bad about it. Because this Dark Knight Returns is all fucked up and the DVD's missing. So,
That sucks.
oh,
like, all right, dude, thanks for returning my stuff.
Well, I order a lot of stuff on in stock trade since Captain Cummins kept like bashing me in the head with that, and they've got this option where you can buy damaged books, and they're like half off of the half off price. So
Oh,
like a twenty
wow.
dollar book will be like $5 or $6.
Yeah, if somebody claims it in the comments, I'll send them this right now for free because I hate damaged things.
So what I did was I took a chance and I ordered one of those books, and I was like, well, if the cover's ripped off or something, that's fine because I can still read the book. And it got here, and it literally had the slightest crease on one of the corners of the book. That's it.
Wow.
And they was like, oh, we can't sell that. Throw it in the pile. And so
Yeah,
I
I
kept doing
mean,
that. Now I'm just ordering them like all the time damaged.
the only one that I really had was Mr. Miracle. I don't know if it's an omnibus or what, but I ordered it and it came like ripped. I was like, okay. So I sent it back and they sent me a brand new one.
Hey, Dark Philly, that's fighting words right there. If somebody ever messes with your Twilight Zone, you just take them out because ain't nobody got time for that.
Never
She
land
said
stuff flat.
she said that somebody borrowed her Twilight Zone or whatever series and then like lost half of them and broke some of the set or something.
Mark Wade said never lend stuff. Honestly, it's kind of funny because I wish that he just didn't even return it to me. Like, I wish I just forgot about it instead of him returning it damaged.
Because then he brought it up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that scene on Blade where he's like, "You do not know who you are messing with." So now that I've kind of asked you guys what you think about the show, now I want to kind of tell you what I think about the show, and then at the end, you kind of tell me what you think about what I think about the show,
Okay.
because we're not in this group where everybody likes the same thing, and we're also not in this group that when somebody dislikes something that everybody attacks them. Like we shouldn't be in that group. Like when somebody goes on there and says, like a while ago, I posted, if somebody goes on Twitter and says Daredevil sucks, then you should see that. You should tweet LOL as a comment, and you should move on. Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't become that time where you're like, oh, here we go, and you just crack the knuckles and you go, and you just start typing that
I
little
don't even
hate fueled
respond.
tweet.
When I see that, I'll either say something funny or I won't respond.
I mean, it's we really need to watch how on edge we are, and I know that's what the SJW people are kind of done to us. Like we're at the point to where we're triggered. Like
No, I know.
everywhere we go, we're triggered. We go
That's what
outside,
I'm
we're
saying
triggered.
is I don't even
Wake
care
up,
what
we're
people say
triggered.
anymore. That's why I just say funny stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't care. Like, you got your opinions, you can do what you please, but if you're like, if somebody tells me like, oh, like the same thing with like when Diversity Comics was like saying like, oh man, I'm not feeling metal, like, and a lot of people like unsubscribed from him. I'm like, what? I mean, come on. Like, I felt kind of stung that he said that, but I was like, I'm still following this dude. I'm still subscribed to his
Oh
channel.
yeah, no, I used to think that me and Diversity in Comics had the same opinions on everything, and then he went off the rails.
But
yeah. I
he's
think
getting
what it
back
is
on
is
he's getting back on metal, man. He knows what's up because he gave good reviews on Batman the Drowned, Batman. He gave good reviews on Batman the Drowned. He gave good reviews on Murder Machine. He liked the Batman Who Laughs. So he knows that he's like, okay, yeah. I guess there's some good things about it that I.
I feel like he's the type. I feel like he's like cool guy. He's just cool guy about stuff. Because I'll ask him
yeah.
if he's excited for stuff, and he'll be like, "Oh no, I'm not really excited about it." And then like 2 weeks later, he'll do like a 20-minute video and like, "This is so sick."
Well, I think that also he knows what makes the shekels. So if he can go in
Yeah,
there and make a 20-minute video talking about Dark Knight's Metal is Stoner Batman, and then people watch it, then of course he's going to do that.
yeah. I don't know. He's definitely like got something figured out. It's kind of annoying. He used to have like 200 followers. Now he has like 50,000.
Well,
Yeah.
it also is also because he started this channel right as all the drama hit. So everybody's like, "Oh, drama subbed," and so he hit right at that right time because it's just like, and there's a lot of the people. What is it? Dark Philly, what did you say the other day when you were talking about certain people and where they are on the channels? You're saying they're like reactionists or something like that. Uh, there, there's a lot of people, and I'm not going to talk about who they are because I really, it's not that important. But there's a lot of people that are reactionists, and they find something, and it's just the worst thing. I'm going to tell you why you suck. This is terrible. I cannot stand for this. F and F you. This the world is ended. And they'll get like 1,500 views or something like that, and it's good. But I'm not opposed to doing that, but that's not why I started this channel. I started for different reasons. I started this channel because I like comics, and people are like, "Hey, you should do a channel where you talk about comics." And I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." That's why I
Yeah.
started. I didn't start to like go looking for things that are cracking and point
I
it
know
out and
that's
then
kind
like
of what
do.
happened with me too, because I did like a couple videos like just for fun, like burning Secret Empire or Squirrel Girl, And then like I
Yeah.
feel like that's the only thing people wanted to watch. So I was like, okay, this is like not fun anymore. Like I just want to review comics.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's fun to let off some steam and review some bad comics and like rip them up and stuff
Yeah.
verbally, not physically. But because I don't rip up stuff that I bought. Like if I bought it, it's mine.
Oh
I used to
yeah,
do that. And then I just stopped. It wasn't fun anymore, so I stopped doing it.
Like
yeah.
I started like if I really don't like it and I don't think that I need to give it to a kid, I'll just like put it up. You know,
Yeah,
I don't think I really
to be
throw it
honest,
away, but go
yeah,
ahead.
I used to do that. I was just saying I used to do that all the time, but then I just stopped. I didn't like spending money on something that I wasn't going to enjoy reading.
Yeah. Hey, Dark Philly, I feel you. It's hard to get into those kind of like roasting videos, but if you'll make one video, if you'll just make one video where you just kind of have fun with it and really talk about like what you don't like about it, then if you ever do a video like that again, it's going to start to become natural. You'll start to get the rhythm of it and kind of talk
It's
about it. Now, you
really
don't have to go
fun.
off the rails, but
It's really fun. It's just that it seemed like comics were getting really bad for a while, and so I was searching for the good comics, and I stopped caring about the bad comics. But I'm sure there'll be a season where I do a bunch of roast videos again. It's fun. It's just you got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Like, I remember when I started reviewing videos, like, I was like, because I was watching a lot of diversity and comic stuff, and then I was like, can I do this? Can I start reviewing comics? So I was like, okay. So I went to the comic shop and I saw the last issue of Teen Titans #9 for Rebirth sitting there, and I said, okay, let me just pick this up. Bam. Then I read it. I did a review on it, and then I was like, okay, I can do this. And I kept doing more and more and more. And, I've had some good videos that were gems. Like, my first real one that I hit off that got me over 100 views was my review of Red Hood, #13 for Rebirth. I was like, okay, this is getting good. And all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. When I reviewed Murder Machine, people were just hitting that video like crazy, and I got me 1,000 views. I was like, wow,
wow.
1,000 plus views. I was like, okay. But
I remember when I got my first video over 100 views. I did. I can't remember which one.
I think it
I
was the
think it was.
Titan. Yeah, it was
I think it
Titans.
was the Titan ones. Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was the Titan ones. It got like 147 views or something, and I had just normally been getting like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad you bought Batman Dark Knight Prince, but or Dark Prince, but
I'm buying the second volume of that, by the way. I'm not giving up on it. I was just letting you guys know it wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
anyway,
No,
um,
but
but it got like 147 views, and I said, "What's happening here? Like this just blew up." And then now I've got some videos that's got like, "Oh, thanks for the congratulations on the 500 subs." I feel like it's a great
Hey,
accomplishment. Like I know there's a lot of people that's got like over 1,000, but I like the fact that there's 500 people that said, "You know what? I'll just give this little redneck a chance."
Underground. First of all, you're not a redneck. Second of all, uh, no, I wanted to say I fell off. So that's part of the reason I joined this live stream is because I'm trying to get my motivation back to make some videos.
yeah,
Well,
man.
you know what you
Good.
did? You roasted too many bad comics in a row, and it pulled your energy down.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, man. You should find some good. Like, that's the thing. Like, I specifically avoided bad comics because I was like, not because do I really want to go in and just not read good content? Even though I like to be surprised. If it's bad, then it's kind of bad, and if it's good, it's good. And so, but then I started getting books I knew wouldn't fail me. Like I said, okay, Teen Titans was the first one. I was like, okay, this is looking pretty good. Then I was like, okay, Red Hood. And then I saw Superman was doing great. Then I saw Flash was doing good stuff as well, like good stuff from DC. Then I started saying, okay, there was a time I wasn't even touching Marvel. And I was like, okay, let me just try it. So I picked up about um, editions of 2 issues of X-Men Gold, which were kind of mixed for me, and I kind of dropped it.
Is that the
And
one with the
then,
Arthur Adams covers?
yeah, I think so.
I love Arthur
Yeah.
Adams. He's great.
But the art was okay at the time before it went to like this 3D model-ish thing and this late run.
Oh God, don't get me started
Yeah,
on those.
but the
I
art,
hate the 3D model crap. I literally hate. I
yeah,
despise the computer graphics
which is
crap.
why
I hate it.
I was saying like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't pick this up. But then I just saw somebody say, "Oh, Venom is pretty good," so I started getting into Venom. Started picking up some Venom. Started
Okay,
waiting
well,
for.
Chudy, honestly, your enthusiasm for Venom has made me want to pick it up, even though I told myself I wouldn't. So,
Yeah,
maybe I will.
you should try it. And then I saw Spirits of Vengeance. I was like, okay, man. And then some of the good Star Wars books like Darth Vader was very good, and then Astonishing
Yeah,
X-Men. I was very happy for
yeah.
that.
Astonishing X-Men is good because it's got a solid story that they know where they're going with.
Well,
Yeah,
okay, why do they keep changing? I don't know. One thing for me is they change the cover artist every issue, and that bothered me because
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I love Ed McGuinness. He did the third issue, but I didn't even pick up that issue because I didn't pick up the Mike Deodato Jr. cover because I'd heard that story was bad, and the first one was just so. So I was like, I'm just gonna trade wait. Like honestly, most Marvel books for me, I'm like, why would I pay $5 an issue when I can just trade wait?
oh man,
Yeah,
So
there's a story that I walked into my local comic shop. This was when Legacy came out, like Marvel Legacy. And so I was here to pick up my usual stuff, and then he was like, "Oh, yeah, we got Marvel Legacy, the lenticular cover. It's like $7.99." I was like, "Oh," I was like,
yeah.
"Oh no," I was like, "Oh no, 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 I'm good." I was like, when I heard $7.99, I'm like, "What?
are you talking
What?"
about the new ones, right?
Yeah, well, you know how they had their event book, Marvel Legacy, where all of that stuff happened and everything like that.
The big book.
The big book, the big
Oh
Legacy book.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
like, and I
I
was
think I
like,
got mine for like half cover price.
oh dang. All I know is that when I walked into the shop, they said $7.99. I was like, I wasn't even interested in getting it, but when they told me the price, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm definitely not getting
No, it
Well,
wasn't. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
it. Yeah.
what I can go ahead and tell you
Old
is,
man or regular Wolverine came back. That's it.
Yeah, I saw the picture of
yeah.
him coming back, and I thought that looked pretty cool. I thought it looked pretty cool. Just the photo
Uh,
of him coming back.
what's so funny is, first of all, my LCS didn't order any of Generations. They didn't order any of Legacy, and just about 98.9999999 of their issues right now are DC.
Hey, that's where the money is right now.
They
Well,
don't
that's
even
where the
order Spider-Man.
okay. What's
Well,
up with that? Anybody notice that Diversity like hated Spider-Man and now he likes the latest issue, even though it's Chip
Well, he
Zdarsky?
likes Spectacular Spider-Man. That's different.
Spectacular Spider-Man, not the Amazing
Hate?
Spider.
No,
But
I know.
from
Okay,
Yeah, but from what Chip Zdarsky's issue is that everybody is saying it, and I've watched the reviews and I've looked through it. Like people are saying, like Chip Zdarsky did like a huge 180, and all of a sudden the stories are
Yeah,
good. Spider-Man is Spider-Man, and everybody's like, okay, and people are like, I thought that man Chip Zdarsky must have been seeing himself get roasted. He was like, I think I am,
that's
I
what it
think
is.
I am screwing up here. Let me actually
Somebody,
put some effort.
so what issue? Number 5 or number 6?
I
I
think it
think it's
was
7.
Yeah, I think it started at number 6, which now became 290 something. But it was with that sixth issue that people were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like he actually
Well,
put in
because
some effort.
I picked up the first several, like first 4 issues because I love Adam Kubert. I love all the Kuberts, and Adam Kubert's great, but the story kept being really
I like the
gross and
game.
SJW, and so I was like, I'm not going to buy this anymore. And then now everyone's saying it's good again, so I'm like,
Oh
what the
yeah,
hell?
everybody hated like the first 5 issues of the book, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, somebody who still wanted to keep up with Spectacular Spider-Man just saw this and must have said, "Oh my gosh, this is some good stuff." Everybody was saying that this is good. This is good stuff. And I was like, oh, it's even tempting me to like, should I dip my hand and maybe get me a Sadarsky Spider-Man book, just to see how it
I'm just
is?
gonna trade. This is another one. I'm just gonna trade weight. I don't want to spend $5 on every issue
Yeah, I was because,
when I gotta pay like $6 an issue for Doomsday Clock.
oh yeah, that actually shocked me. I was like, oh, it's probably going to be $3.99, and I saw $5.99. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, and if you get
well,
the Rorschach cover is $6.99 or
Oh,
well, I
$5.99.
ordered the
$5.99.
cover. I ordered the cover that had the three Trinity symbols on it
The
in the
Ror,
Rorschach
yeah, the
shape.
Rorschach cover. Yeah,
yeah, the
that
Yeah,
one's
Rorschach
well,
one.
there's
Yeah,
two
$5.99.
Rorschach covers. There's one where he's standing there, with his mask on, and then there's one where it's just the mask
Yeah,
cover
I
with
was
the
just talking
symbols
about
on it.
the mask cover.
Yeah, that's the one I ordered. But I'll go ahead and tell you, like I was telling you they didn't order any of those legacy, any of the generations. They also don't charge extra for lenticulars,
Oh wow.
Oh, that's cool.
and so basically they were handing the lenticulars to people going out the door. Like people would buy the comic book, and they would say, "Oh, wait just a minute." They would put that down, and they would get a lenticular out from under the desk, and they'd say, "Here, take that one." And I was like, "This right here," like I was in shock because that's how you treat people, and when your comic shop does that, and you're not used to people doing that, it kind of like wow. And the first one I got like that was the button. Um, I bought the button and I brought it to the counter, and she says, "Hold on just a second." She said, "Here, take this one with you." And she gets it out from under there, and it's lenticular cover, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And she's like, "Yeah, blah blah." And then I got to looking more about lenticular covers and like that. I was like, I just realized like what she actually gave me. You know what I mean? It's like I thought it was cool, but it's like lenticulars are picking back up, being more popular, as Marvel would like to, But
Yeah, I don't know. I liked
so
the
here,
button ones and I liked the Action Comics ones. I don't know.
here's the deal. Like we've talked about a bunch of different things, but now it's time to get to the main thing here. The main deal. I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the show. You tell me what you think, and
Okay.
then we're going to go from there. Okay, so the show overall, Punisher Netflix. In case you people in the comment section have forgot what we're talking about, we're talking about the Netflix Punisher show. Okay, so one of the things that I didn't like about the show is too long. It was too long. If you're going to do these little side stories, it needed to be about 20 episodes. And then if you're not going to do those side stories, it needs to be 8. There should be like 8 episodes. If you can do Stranger Things in like 8 to 10 episodes, you can do The Punisher.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Because
it was too many episodes.
Stranger Things was amazing, and the second season is
I haven't seen it
almost as
yet.
good as the first
Don't
season.
spoil the second season. I haven't seen it.
It's almost as good as the first one, so I think you'll really like it.
Okay.
But as far as a star system would go, I'm going to give that show like a 3.5
The Punisher.
because the Punisher,
Out of 5?
Okay.
because
Yeah,
out
out
of
of
5.
five.
And the reason I'm going to do that is because the last episode, kind of embodied what the Punisher is. And then after binge reading
And the
Max
first one.
Punisher,
The very, very,
well,
very
yeah,
first episode.
and the very, very first one when he just goes around like just capping everybody on his list. But then when he burnt the vest, I almost had to come apart because when he's burning that vest and it's burning up I was like, what are we doing? What are you doing to this character right now? Where are we about to go in this show?
At the end of
And
when he said like I'm scared or whatever.
when he's done, at the first episode when he kills everybody, he thinks he's finished.
Oh,
And he just
you're talking
burns
about
all
the
this
first
stuff.
episode. Yeah, no, exactly. He killed everyone, then it was like, now
Yeah,
what? It's like, what?
yeah. And I was like, oh no, because I hate those shows. I hate those shows and movies where the character is running around fighting like out of costume. I don't know what it is, but it kind of worked in Winter Soldier. I liked it. It was pretty cool to see Cap, fighting and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just they got to have the costume. I like the costume. It fits. It's almost like
I'm
their
all about the
personality
costume
changes.
too.
Oh yeah, but it's almost like their personality changes when they're not wearing the costume. It's like they're not as tough.
Yeah. No, yeah, that makes sense.
And I guess it's because of the whole element of surprise. That's the reason they're not in their uniform. They're not ready. But
Yeah, but they overdo it. They overdo it with the. I know what you're saying though. The element was surprise without the costume, but no. The thing with the Punisher was, it felt like the Punisher in the first episode.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. And then
And then it
there
didn't.
was like some parts where he was kind of the Punisher, like a few parts, and then like the last episode he felt like the Punisher, but most of it was like John just watching like John Bernthal.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was just like
You were
okay,
watching the Walking Dead, and the zombies never came.
yeah, like zombie, yeah, exactly. Like if you're watching The Walking Dead, if the zombies only killed Shane's family,
Only.
True.
And so,
so
first it was too long, and then the side stories killed me. The side stories killed me. I don't care about these other characters. um, I just want to see the people that deal with the Punisher directly. If you've got 20 episodes, we can have the PTSD soldier with the crock pot bombs, but it felt forced. It felt weird, and it like jostled the show off the storyline, and then quickly got back on the storyline, and it was just really weird. I didn't like it, and I didn't feel like it needed to be there. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Um, Now, as far as some of the tropes go, everybody really hassled me about this. They were saying, you know, you guys need to stop chasing SJW ghosts. You need to stop looking for dragons to slay. Blah blah blah. You need to stop looking for things where they're not there. And I was like, I just don't like it. You know what I mean? It's like you're putting like when he goes to those meetings, when he goes to those stress meetings with the other veterans and everything to deal with the PTSD and all that good stuff. You had these now they were good written characters. I mean, they make sense and everything, but they didn't need to be there. And it's just like it was funny because I try not to be a DNC fanboy because he does talk about some things that I completely disagree with
yeah,
completely. But it's because we come from different upbringing. We're different
yeah.
people. That's what's gonna
Well,
happen.
what's funny is the Punisher TV show. The thing for me, I liked it, but I feel like it was like almost family friendly Punisher.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
um,
heard. Like it
there was a
was
few
just
episodes that weren't obviously, but most of it was pretty family friendly, and I think that that's what made me not like it as much as I wanted to.
uh-huh.
Was I felt like my dad would enjoy it, and my dad is
Exactly.
very not. He loves comic books, like he's the one who got me into comics, but he also doesn't like put himself through unnecessary violence because my mom is like totally against violence. So he's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they should have done two
so
different
I feel like
versions then.
yeah, I feel like he would enjoy watching that show, and that's kind of a reason why I didn't like it as much because I'm I'm a little bit more whatever. I'm different than my dad, so
yeah,
Well, I feel like the tropes are a little pushed. Like, it's funny because, like I was saying, DNC did his review, and like I totally agreed with everything that he said. Like my video almost mirrored his video, and it was weird because I was like, oh God, everybody's gonna think I'm copycatting him. It's gonna think, oh, you're just a DNC fanboy. But it's like when you watch as many TV shows as I watch on local cable television providers and things like that, and you see the same stuff over and over and over. It's like if you were to watch CNN all day long, 12 hours a day. Eventually, you're just going to be like, can I see something else? Is there
yep,
something else out there? And then when they started pushing all these characters, like and some people's going to be like, oh, I can't believe he's saying this, but the little Hispanic kid, okay, he pops up out of nowhere. He's a saint, okay. And then the guy that's running the VA meeting thing, he's a saint. They never do anything wrong. They're the best people in the world. But those darn construction workers, those guys, they're just jerks. And I was just sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, can we not just have something original? Like literally all the white guys are bad guys. The
oh,
main guy
I
has a shaved head, and I'm just waiting for him to yell out like Nazis are awesome or something.
well, I thought
And
it was
then,
funny because remember the Mexican construction worker that he was talking to
yeah,
at the that
yeah,
was like spot on. Like I've met so many people that are super annoying like that at a new job, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. I'm just here to work.
And see, I
And
don't.
I just, what's
I
that?
don't know. Now I have had some people where you just lock onto them. Like there's something about their personality where you just instantly friends with them. But it may also be the way that I look too, because a lot of people think that I look like a cop, and they don't really go up to me and talk to me as much as I guess a lot of people do. And I'm easygoing. Like I get along with like just about everybody. But if you were to see me on the street, you probably wouldn't talk to me first. Like I'm not John Berthal, wherever his name is, by any means whatsoever. But I don't know. It's just kind of the way they did these characters. It just right off the bat too. I don't know if it is. I guess it's just like Marvel. You read a SJW Marvel book, and it's like the first page is a terrible SJW joke or trope or something, and it's just like, oh,
Oh,
okay, that's where we're going.
yeah. Yeah.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a little bit of getting jaded a little bit because of too many things that's got that in it.
I think that might be
Uh,
that because also I started to notice more SJW things once I see it online. So now I'm kind of trying to reel it back and not pay attention as much and just make my own
yeah.
judgment.
Hmm.
And I feel like I have a pretty good gauge of what's SJW and what's not. Like for example, Silver
Yeah.
Sable. Silver Sable was pretty SJW. It had really good art and it had really good
Really
story, but
good
like
art.
there's definitely some SJW elements in there. And for example, whatever they
Hmm.
did, there was like some weird parts in Dark Prince Charming that were kind of SJW. I felt like, um, or what was the other comic where they're talking about punching? Whenever they say like punching Nazis, like I hate that. But
Oh, that
I
was
don't
Silver
know.
Sable. She said punching Nazis is my jam.
Yeah, I just that was trash. I feel like Punisher wasn't that SJW. I feel like there was like one part that could have been like when Agent not Montoya, what's her name? Agent Marani. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
When she said something about, oh, that was sexist and racist, or okay, like one comment, but besides
Okay.
that, there wasn't that many like
Yeah,
I
like
don't
right off the
know.
bat, he was like calling her all these misogynistic names and everything. I was like, guys, you hadn't even warmed us up yet.
Yeah. That
I mean, it
I feel like that was kind of like how the very first episode of every TV show
Madonna, yeah, Madonna.
there's more sex and violence to get people hooked on the actual show than there is in every
Yeah, that
episode.
always happens on
Yeah.
HBO shows. Have
I
you
feel
noticed
like
that? Like
that
the
kind of
first
they
season?
kind of do that with the SJW stuff too, because that was that one SJW comment in the first
Yeah,
episode, and it kind of just fizzled.
they try to get those people to watch. You're exactly right. That's what they're trying to do. They're
Yeah,
trying to get those people hooked to make sure that they can buy the rest of the issues because everybody watches episode one and everybody gets
yeah.
the first issue. So yeah, I think you are right. I think you're onto
Did
something.
they have? Did they
Yeah.
have? I could be wrong on this, but did they have Barbara Gordon do some lesbian shit in the first episode of Gotham, or did that not come till later?
No, that happened. That
Was
happened.
that the first
Yeah,
episode?
That was
yeah.
like
She
the one. I think it was the first or two episodes where she and
God,
Montoya
she
were
was
like,
dating the Hispanic lady.
yeah, Montoya,
Yeah,
yeah, Renee Montoya, and I was like, that's when I found out Montoya was like, I guess lesbian, but I'm like, I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, why is Barbara Gordon a bisexual?
well,
Makes
that's a whole different thing. Like they've totally ruined that show for me as far as Barbara goes. Like she's dead to me now.
Yeah,
Like
she's pretty much dead. I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like I haven't watched Gotham since season one, and I think it's when they killed Maroni in season
yeah,
one that I was like, okay, they're throwing continuity out of the window because
yeah,
it was feeling like a preseason Batman. Now everything is like, oh, we're just gonna take a bunch of Batman storylines before he's actually old enough to be Batman and just throw him in there. You have Court of Owls in there, and you have him already suiting up at the age of
yeah.
13. You
He's
have
way
him.
too little. He's way too
He's
little.
like you have him meeting Ra's al Ghul, and then this little girl who was called Pamela Ivy. You gave
That
her.
was actually funny.
Yeah, that was funny. But then apparently they gave her some
what's
grown.
this about them changing Poison Ivy 3 times? It's three different actresses now.
Well,
She
no,
grew
it's
up.
yeah. She grew up because she fell into some type of chemical which increased her aging process. And so she started seducing men for money, and then
She's basically like an 11-year-old girl in like a 20-year-old swimsuit model's body.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they started making the Riddler and
It's
Penguin
every SJW is like wet
like
dream.
what the hell is going on? I was like, oh, it got unbearable because I thought season one was good, and then it just got started getting weird. I think the only thing that they really did right in that show was Alfred and Bruce's relationship. I thought it was very good.
Yeah, yeah, it's
It was
good.
done very well.
Hey, King of Ruckus, we're not going to talk about too much stuff. If I start talking about something, just stop me and put like spoiler alert, and then you can do earmuffs.
Yeah, we haven't really
But
spoiled much. I don't think we've
just
really
say, just
spoiled.
like yell polo. When I start doing spoilers, just yell out earmuffs.
Sounds good.
But that reminds me. So you had all those tropes and everything. It didn't really it didn't add to the story. Anything to me that doesn't add to the story is useless
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Are you
there's
still talking
adding
about
and there's
The
subtracting
Punisher
and there's
series?
useless.
I
So
think
what?
there was another thing about Gotham that they did very well that I really liked in season one, and that was
Yep.
Scarecrow's origin. I really
Yeah.
liked that. I thought it was
That one
I
in the Joker episode.
I liked
see,
Scarecrow's origin. Hated his costume.
and then when we
His
get
eyes,
into
the actor's eyes are so big naturally that it looked like googly goldfish eyes.
oh yeah,
Did they make? I feel like they could have done a better job with Mr. Freeze, but I'm glad they included him.
He's cool.
yeah,
He's almost like a 1950s character or something.
I really like Mr. Freeze. If you ever watch like the Batman animated series
oh yeah,
episode
man,
Heart of Ice,
yeah,
that
If you
man,
haven't
that's like
watched the
some
Batman animated series, then don't even be on this chat.
yeah, pretty
man.
much.
There was a time, I think it was summer of 2016. I was like, I'm gonna watch all these animated shows. I watched all of the DC Universe shows and everything like that. Mr. Freeze was probably one of the gems of was one of the out of the whole DC animated universe back in the day. Mr. Freeze was done well, very well. I watched. I even
Redefine the character.
yeah. I even watched his. He was a tragic character, and I felt that they did. I felt that they gave him like a very tragic but proper send off in Batman Beyond. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. While you're talking about Batman Beyond, everyone needs to go pick up the latest issue. It's way better, and they got the original costume back.
Okay,
yeah.
see, I was on the rebirth run of Batman Beyond, but I kind of fell off because I was getting a little bit confused with it.
No, me too. I was the same way. I was reading it and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then I
Where
stopped
they
reading
mess with
it.
the
But the new
timeline and
issue is really
everything.
good.
It's not that they messed with the
Yeah, no,
timeline; it just started getting a little bit complicated to the fact that I couldn't follow it. So I was like, okay, that's
That's
just
a
me.
telltale sign that the writer doesn't know how to express what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
say that again,
Um,
Underground.
I said that's just a telltale sign that the writer doesn't know how to express what he's trying to say.
Yeah, what's a telltale sign? What?
Whenever they start writing a story, you're so confused, like you can't keep up with it.
Oh
A good
yeah,
writer
yeah,
could write you a bunch of different things, like Watchmen could
yeah.
write you many different things, and you still know what's going on.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, the new Batman Beyond. It's a part one. I think it's number 14. Old Man Bruce is in it. I think. Okay, I'm not. This is not what's happening. This is my theory. I think they're gonna make Terry's little brother Matt like Robin Beyond,
Oh
but
That'd
I
be
could
God.
be,
cool.
but I could be
Ooh,
wrong.
I might like that though. It might be kind of cool.
I
It'd be like
It's
a
he's
Super
got the new
Sons
he's got the
moment.
new. I mean, the old costume from the animated series back, so that's why I like it.
As long as they keep the pink mental illness haircuts to a minimum on this series, will be okay.
well, the thing
Well,
is like Max, it works for her because that's how she looked like in the show. And the thing is that
yeah,
all everybody,
exactly. That's kind of the aesthetic of the early 2000s futuristic
yeah.
look, you know.
And
Yeah,
plus,
yeah,
and the
very.
thing is, like back then, when we were all watching the show, I just thought everybody had multicolored hair because that was the style, because everything was set in the
Yeah,
future. So, but Matt,
I'm ready. I'm ready to see some more of those bioengineered people. Like we need to bring them back and have more of them. The animal people from the TV show. We need to
oh,
have more of
those,
What'd you
them.
say?
this,
What'd you say,
oh, this,
Underground? Sorry,
oh,
what'd you say?
this, he wants those,
We need to have.
the
Go ahead.
splicers back.
Yeah, we need to have more of those.
I like the black the black character with like the white circle for her face.
Oh, Ink.
Oh, Ink.
Yeah, I like
Oh
that one a
Yeah,
yeah,
lot.
Ink was
she's like his
badass.
arch nemesis, basically.
Yeah.
No, somebody just said it's called Family Business. Is that what the issue I'm talking about is? I gotta find it. Sorry.
While you're trying to find that, I'll talk a little bit more about the Punisher show. As as much as it had that was bad about that show, there was a lot of really good stuff about that show. I'm not trying to just hate on the show and just say, oh, it
Yeah.
sucks because it's cool.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it was a very very compelling story for Frank. Now I feel like that they should have showed his family like the first 3 episodes and then not had flashbacks again to like the 10th or 11th episode. But it was a good story. I liked Billy Russo. He's a good character because he totally tricked me. I had no idea he was bad. And I usually can pick up on everything, but for some reason I was just like, yeah, I think he's doing some bad stuff.
Which guy? Which guy?
Billy Russo, his friend.
Oh, I mean, he was kind of a
when it's always
sleazeball from the
sleeping around.
beginning, though.
Yeah. I always got the feeling that he was kind of a sleazeball, and I figured he was doing some stuff on the side.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't figure like you haven't got to that point yet, but I wouldn't figure like he was doing as much as he was doing.
It was pretty interesting that they made like one of his only two like brothers a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Like from the army, not real brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly, because it's like, whoa, that's a weird tie-in.
Yeah, it was weird.
I do like the shootouts. I like the shootouts and the fighting. I did like the parts that they pulled in where he was like biting the dudes and stuff like that when he didn't have weapons.
Well,
and just,
what
like,
was
biting
that
the
one
crap out of
part
people.
that he killed his friend that was like living out like a hermit out in? Remember that? He was like dressed in all camo, and he didn't even have any speaking parts. He just like, or he tried to save him.
He did have some speaking parts, but it was kind of a weird. It's like they didn't see. That's what I'm saying. They didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
They spent so much time on these other side stories that I was like, oh yeah.
They spent way too much time with Billy Russo and the agent Madonna.
Exactly.
Way too much time.
And see, you had that guy named Gunnar Henderson, and what's so funny is I know a guy named Gunnar Henderson. So when they said that name, I was like, that's hilarious.
Funny. Wow.
Because he was also in the military, and I think he was in the army. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I know he's in the Marines and everything, but that's really cool. That they did have cool shootouts. That was cool. I wish that they'd kind of done them a little bit more of them. I liked Micro. He was a cool character. I like that
I liked Micro. I liked Micro a lot, except for that he kind of stopped being Micro like halfway through the season.
Yeah, he kind of become a little bit of a wimp, too. By the way,
he became a wimp, and he also just ended up like not really like serving the purpose that I wanted him to.
Yeah,
he became someone else.
And I didn't like the whole Frank like going over to his house and buddying up with the wife and everything. I really didn't like that.
Yeah, that was like that was just it was they did it took it too far. Like they either should have had them sleep together or nothing. Like it was weird that they kissed.
It's really weird. Like it kind of takes away from her character. Like it makes me not like her character, and there's no point to make me not like her.
It makes me not like everyone involved.
Yeah, basically. And now the car chase. The car chase was one of the coolest deals about that show. It was very reminiscent of Bullet and some of those Steve McQueen shows where there's no music, there's no talking. It's just the cars. And it's a lot of practical stunts and things like that. I just wish they did more of that. Like it was so cool. Like you knew when he stole that Mustang. I was telling my wife, I was like, he's gonna have a chase and he's gonna probably wreck that Mustang.
Yeah.
And and I like that he said always buy American made. I was like, that is so something Frank would say.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets the car and he has the race with Madonna. Madonna had an awesome car that looked just like Tommy's car from that show Power. I was like, is that his car? Did she steal the drug dealer's car? But Micro just took her out. And I was like, what's up with that,
Judy,
Micro?
Yeah.
Did you have any favorite parts from the series?
I probably have to, like you, I probably have to rewatch everything again because I was just kind of going through and not really defining everything. So
yeah,
when I give it a second watch, maybe I'll have a favorite part in it.
Hey, somebody just said, what about the part with Frank pulling the knife on the kid? I totally agree with that because there was multiple scenes where he was like abusive to his son and then he was slightly abusive to this kid. Now, it was realistic because kids bounce back. That's the reason child abuse is so prevalent in the United States and everywhere else in the world is because kids bounce back. They're like a dog or something. You beat them, they come right back. And
Oh God.
and it is. It's weird how kids can adapt to anything, especially when they're younger. Like you can beat a kid, and then they'll say, well, I'm sorry, it's okay. And then later you're doing just like Frank, throwing the football out on the sidewalk with him, like, hey, good job, sport, good job, sport. And but I did not like the knife scene. I don't think that's something Frank would have done. Frank does not abuse kids, and he
I
would
feel like
have.
he could have done it. I feel like he could have intimidated the kid in a much more intimidating way. That was just kind
Yeah,
of a pussy move.
don't slit his throat. Good lord! And then the kid goes, do it. And I almost busted out laughing
Oh
when
my
that kid
gosh.
said that
You see, that's
because
the
kids
freaking.
do not talk like that.
You know,
That
Yeah,
kid
kid
not
would
at
have
that
been
age.
doing like that drug dealer.
Not at
That
that
kid would have
age.
been peeing his pants at that moment.
No,
And he would have
man.
been
Yeah.
saying, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah,
I'll
when
go
he's
clean
that
my room
young,
right
he's
now.
not suicidal at age 13. Are you
Yeah, man.
kidding me?
If a
No.
kid if a kid says like, "Yo, do it, end my life right now," you'd be like, hold up, man, hold up right now. What the
I'd be
heck
like,
is
hey,
this?
go put your shoes on. We're going down to the Catholic Church right now, and you're going to go talk to this little priest guy because there's some stuff going on in your life that we just need to handle right now.
Yeah, like damn, I'll be freaked out.
Did anybody
But,
notice that
you know,
the little girl, his sister, was the same girl that Bruce Wayne saved in Batman v Superman?
yeah, you said that. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't notice that, because kids are very interchangeable unless they've been in like 8 different things. I don't recognize them.
Yeah. Well, what's
Um,
her name? The girl from Split is going to be in Magic and the New Mutants.
oh yeah, I
Ah,
saw that. And then they're also having the guy from Stranger Things is going to be
From
in it
Stranger
too.
Things, yeah. He's
yeah.
going to be
Abuse.
or not Sunspot, he's Cannonball,
Oh, and New
right?
Oh yeah,
Mutants.
Cannonball.
See,
Yeah, Cannonball.
when I
Yeah,
saw the trailer for that, I was like, and you're now saying that Cannonball and Sunspot might be in it. I'm like, those are some very happy-go-lucky X-Men right there.
When I saw that trailer, I went
I'm
out and
like,
bought the New Mutants Epic Collection, like the $40
it
omnibus
really
thing.
did make me want to watch it. Like I was like, this is some original stuff right here.
yeah, it looked.
Yeah,
It
it
didn't
looked
even
really
seem
cool.
like an X-Men movie. When I heard, all I heard was like, "Have you ever heard of mutants?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." But then
Well,
it looks like some real horror shit right there.
if you read the New Mutants, you'll see how the New Mutants is like not even really. I mean, it's an X-Men book, but it's they're like the Teen Titans of the X-Men.
Hmm, interesting.
So think of
Yeah,
like if
yeah,
the Teen Titans was more a horror story. That's what the New Mutants is.
Okay,
I agree. I agree.
makes sense.
Um,
So
I do think like here's something else I want to address too. They they talk about something on this Punisher show, and I had it brought up to me many times when we were talking about it. They kept saying, "Have you read the Garth Ennis series? Have you read the Garth? That's why you don't like this because you haven't read the Garth Ennis series." And I was like, "Why so serious?" But anyway, I did. I binge read it. I read the whole thing, top to bottom, and I was like, "Hey, this is a really cool series." It's this is Punisher right here. And at the end of it, the way they drew the Punisher, man, I would not mess with that guy ever. He looked like he was like 70 years old and he could break me in half and use my like fibula bone for a toothpick or something. I mean, he was tough. But then if you compare that to the show, okay, I'll point out a couple things that had to do with the show that had to do with that series. The Punisher, Micro, one page where they mention dead soldiers with drugs in them, and the fact that it's set in one of the same cities.
um,
That's it.
Underground March is asking what Punisher to get.
Oh, I would get Punisher Max. I would get the whole trade of Punisher Max right now.
Yeah, just March. It's Welcome Back, Frank, I think is called.
And it's Garth Ennis, and it's 16 issues with a couple of one shots, and it's just a really good series. Now I think it was a little lame at the end because they didn't kill off a couple of people when they should have. Interesting, but
In
I
the
mean
TV show?
No, on the series, the Garth Ennis series. They brought a couple of bad guys back that I was kind of like, oh, you should have just ended them when you had the chance to end them to make it be really cool.
Okay, so you know how okay, whoever hasn't seen Punisher, earmuffs. Don't listen to this.
Earmuffs, spoilers, earmuffs.
Ew.
Spoiler. You know how his friend becomes Jigsaw?
Yeah.
Underground?
Yeah.
I thought he would have been a good Elite. Remember Elite? The all white, the blonde guy in the comic with the all white and the mask. I thought he would have been a good that character.
Yeah, I agree.
So
he would have been good.
I don't really know about Jigsaw that much. Y'all can come back, take your earmuffs off.
Jigsaw is his Joker, basically. Jigsaw is his Joker. Everybody has a mutilated character that's like the opposite of you, and he's like his Joker.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I really like Elite, though. Elite would have been a cool TV adaptation, I feel like. He was like very creepy in the comic.
He is creepy. Well, Jigsaw's going to be creepy too because he's going to have like, it's basically going to be like Nicolas Cage when he had no face on Face Off.
Oh, yeah.
When he was walking around, that was, that's why Nicolas Cage would play a good Joker because he is nuts. If you had his face removed like you did in that movie and he's just walking around smoking a cigarette, talking to people, it's, they ripped off my face, but it's cool. It's cool. that kind of reminds me of the Joker a little bit. All in all, I mean, this series, it was.
What'd you say reminds you of the Joker? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Nicolas Cage, whenever he's on Face Off and he rips his, they take his face off and he wakes up.
Oh.
He's like bandaged and he's walking around as Castor Troy and he's like totally crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then he makes that scene where he's like, they took my face, but it's cool. It's cool.
So did you like did you like him as Ghost Rider?
I did and I didn't. The first one was too cheesy, and I didn't feel like it did it justice. The second one was a lot better. I liked it a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it was more
Wasn't
gringy,
that the same? Oh
dark.
my god! I just realized it's the same actress that you'd come in here dressed like a hobo.
That's your girlfriend.
It's the same girl, right? Wasn't that the love interest of the first Ghost Rider movie? That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I forgot her name, but
it's like Ava Mendes or something.
Oh yeah, it's Ava Mendes. And I thought Nicolas Cage did an okay job as Ghost Rider. I mean, I liked the movie for what they were. They weren't the best, but they weren't bad. But I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched Spirit of Vengeance every time it comes on just because it's so much better than the first one. I do feel like that they should just go ahead and just not do that again. And let's just do a Spirits of Vengeance team-up movie and let's just call it a day.
Oh, yeah.
I do feel like Nicolas Cage was done a little wrong in some of those movies because they told him to go into bad directions when it comes to the character, and the writing was a little rough. Because Nicolas Cage is a good actor. He can do a lot of different things. Now, he does play the same character in a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah.
But so does everybody else. I mean, look at Bruce Willis.
Yep.
But all in all, yeah, guys, definitely listen to what Polo's saying about the Punisher trades because it seems like Polo reads as many comics as I do watching TV shows. So
yeah.
But all in all, the show I give, I told you I give like a 3.5 out of 5. It was a decent show. Punisher, Netflix was. I still think it was better than what was the Iron Fist? Well, Iron Fist. I still think it's better than Iron Fist. I still think it's better than Luke Cage. It's not as good as Defenders, and it's not as good as Daredevil. So I think it's right there in the middle. I think it's a good place for it to be because it didn't wow me the entire time, and it also didn't depress me the entire time. Just kind of left me going, okay. It's like let's pick up from here and let's do something different the next season.
Seems like a fair assessment, yeah.
Let's have him be the Punisher the entire time. Let's have him going after some gangsters, and let's have him like blowing people's heads off from 150 yards away, and then mowing them down with the M60s like he did in Punisher Max. He loved that M60 on Punisher Max. He was like,
I have to say
"Bring me the M60."
the scene in Daredevil season 2 when the Punisher kills the entire Irish mob, that was pretty freaking cool.
That was the Punisher. They should have done that like the entire season of this Punisher.
Yeah, well, they just should have
like
done. They just should have done more things like that same style, or like how it was creative, you know.
He says, Mark says, who would you have play Blaze? I guess he means Ghost Rider?
Johnny Blaze, like Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
See, I know there's somebody
not Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, I think it's done, unfortunately, for Nick Cage in that regard. You know, I don't know. I honestly
I would pick Chris Evans from the Fantastic Four era. Chris Evans.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The old Chris Evans.
You know,
okay.
I don't know why. I think Andrew Garfield could somehow.
I'm pretty sure he rode a motorcycle in that movie, didn't he?
Chris Pine, yeah. I don't know why.
Already halfway there.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think
You like Andrew Garfield, you said?
I feel like he could play. I think he could, if you could work it somehow, he could play Johnny Blaze, in my opinion.
He's too small for me.
Yeah, I think you need a little bit buffer and blonde guy.
Yeah.
Well, what do you? I've got somebody in mind. You want to hear who I got?
Who?
Jensen Ames.
Oh.
Who?
Jensen Ames.
Who's that?
Do you know who that is, Judy?
I believe if with a better description, I might know who you're talking about.
The short-haired brother from the Supernatural TV show.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Is he on Smallville? Was he on Smallville?
Yeah, he was on Smallville.
Maybe. I don't think he was the Green Arrow. I think
you're
thinking the Green Arrow Aquaman. He wasn't either one of those.
Oh. Well, no. There's another guy. There was like an asshole boyfriend of Lana's.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, that was probably him,
from
man.
Supernatural.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good choice.
Yeah, Jensen. Okay, yeah. He did. He actually did the voiceover. He actually did the voice for Jason Todd in Red Hood, Batman and the Red Hood. Yeah. So yeah, I think he'd be a good.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, it's still hilarious to me that they had the guy that played Green Arrow be Aquaman for that Aquaman pilot. But
yeah.
To answer Dank Demon, I don't think they'll put Venom in the Netflix Marvel because they're too scared to even put Spider-Man. Also, they're probably not going to do any more Netflix Marvel because Marvel's starting their own streaming service and they're putting out a Venom movie. So Venom will probably never be in the Netflix Marvel universe.
that's it. Like this, I have a feeling this is it for the Netflix shows.
Yeah, exactly. I think
because once they go to that streaming service, it's going to be something completely different.
Actually, Daredevil season 3 will be probably the last show, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, once they leave the Netflix, I'm worried that it's going to completely change the direction. It's going to be like when Supergirl went to CW.
See, I initially heard good things about season 1 with Supergirl, and I was trying to say, let me try, but I fell off of it. Then I heard the not so good things about season 2. And then I heard from my cousin who, she's pretty left, kind of conservative on social stuff, but she's still pretty liberal on that. And she was like, yeah, I didn't like the whole lesbian sister thing where, oh, we're dating and oh, we're getting married and oh, I want to have kids and oh, I can't, my spouse doesn't want to have kids. So now we're not going to get married. And yeah. I'm like, oh God.
It ruined the show. It ruined the show. Yeah, Jensen Ackles. Somebody just wrote Jensen Ackles. Yeah, he needs to be Johnny Blaze. But it ruined the show because it took over the show from Supergirl. Basically, like I was saying yesterday, I was like, holy crap. They ruined Supergirl's relationships, and they brought on the sisters' relationships, and then made that the center of the show.
Kennel.
And it's to the point to where Supergirl's not Supergirl anymore. She's basically like a toddler in Supergirl's body, and then it's
I
always
don't
like,
take
what's the sister
I
doing
don't
right
take
now?
Supergirl seriously ever since I've seen her porn.
Oh my
Ah,
gosh.
that kind of ruined it when I found out that was a thing. I was like,
Wait,
oh
wait, wait, wait. What?
no.
What?
Yeah, she did like some pictures. There was a photo shoot
Oh, you
Google
mean
to
just
the
Google whatever the actress's name is nude, and you'll see
she
her
did
having sex
porn?
yeah
with a guy. And then she also did a video. She did like a scene in another TV show where she's butt naked, and then she also did like photos with having sex with a guy. But it's not like true
yeah
porn. Does that make sense?
Okay.
hardcore.
Yeah, it's not like
Okay.
triple X
The
porn.
pictures the
It's
pictures
just
are
like she took pictures having sex with a guy. It's really awkward.
yeah,
Okay.
it's really awkward and weird because the character and the actress seems so wholesome and nice and like girl next door, and then she does that kind of stuff, and I'm like, wow, you just ruined the whole character for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it honestly reminds me of my ex girlfriend, which is why it pisses me off. Because yeah, fuck that.
Hey, Snapchat is bad, man. If you break up with somebody, delete your
Well, it's all
Snapchat.
good
That's all I
because
got
as
to
soon as
say.
my ex gets famous, I have her sex tape, so I'll be making millions off that.
There you go. There you go. There's a free
No,
$1 million.
deadass, she's a actress in Hollywood. She was actually trying to get a hold of Jeff Johns to play Starfire in the Teen Titans show.
Oh,
And
wow.
then
That's
you called up Jeff. And he was like, Jeff, man, don't do it.
Yeah,
uh,
I hit up Jeff and I was like, bro, just write Doomsday Clock. Don't even hire her.
Yeah, don't even do it. And by the way, when you do Doomsday Clock, like make a fake Rorschach. Do it.
Make him black toot for diversity.
Do it.
see,
Yeah, make him black and make him like crazy, where he's just like spitting out random
Honestly, I
words.
like
It's gonna
I
be
like
awesome.
Black Rorschach. I have zero problem with it. I think it's fucking cool. I think it's gonna be either the little kid from Watchmen, all grown up, Rorschach's psychiatrist, or it's gonna be Rorschach trapped in
the black man's
his
body.
body.
Like the
So I don't know what
Punisher.
it is. I think it's cool
It's gonna
though.
be like the
I like
Punisher
it.
when they did that to the Punisher.
Yeah,
How
I
about that
think.
comic with Luke Cage? The Luke Cage Punisher comic?
Yeah, when he had plastic surgery, like become black or something because
Yeah, I
something was
have
going
that.
on.
I have that comic. I think the
There's
cover's by
like
Frank
there's like
Miller.
2 or 3 issues of that. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
I think
No,
it'll.
but I like Black Rorschach. I'm all about Black Rorschach. No problem with it. I like
Yeah, I
it.
have no problem with it either. I just thought it was funny when I said, "Oh, he's black." Okay, moving on. But
It took me a second because the way they do the inking, I was like,
I
is the
didn't like it
hand
at
supposed to
first.
represent something? I don't understand. How does she know who he is? And I was like, oh, wait a
What
second.
happened for me?
Is he
I
black?
saw diversity. I saw diversity in comics talk about it, and I was like, "Oh no, this comic's going to be SJW." And so I ran to my local store and bought it. Like really interesting. And I was like, "What? This
Thinking
isn't
you're
even
gonna like
like."
roast it or something?
I thought it was going to be bad, and then it was really good. And I was like, this is probably a really interesting reason why Rorschach is black. Like diversity is just jumping to conclusions for views.
well,
Yeah.
I think he was really. I think he just really liked the original Rorschach for the character, and he just really wanted. Yeah, he's
Dead
dead.
though.
I know he's dead, but he's like, and I think that's people are right that don't like don't need no need to cheapen his sacrifice. Bringing him back to life.
That's
So
what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's almost like I would rather they not
And
even
also,
have
it's
him.
respectful to Alan Moore because you left the character that he killed dead. You didn't bring back a character that he killed, so it's like respectful to Alan Moore.
yeah, unless there's a yeah, well, so we'll see what happens with that. But
Issue
to the
2
C,
the whole thing.
yeah, but with the CW shows, like I was also so I'm getting a feeling like they're dipping in quality a bit, man. Like I used to, I I used to keep up with the Arrow, and then I stopped after season 3 when Felicity and Oliver started getting together. I was like, this is annoying as hell. Like I liked Felicity
She's
when
the
Yeah,
she
that's
worst.
was
super
She's the
annoying.
worst character on all the shows combined.
like
Honestly, I got annoyed of Arrow by season 2. Like, I only watch Arrow for like the random cameos, like the Harley Quinn cameo, and like
I don't know.
And you know
crap like
what? You know
that.
what, Polo? I stopped watching the show after the first episode. Okay, so
Really.
yeah, no, I like hardcore like that show.
Yeah, and then but I liked season
I
2.
don't know.
I liked season 2 because you had Deathstroke in it, and I thought Deathstroke was a great villain, and there was a good arc to it.
Yeah,
But then I liked Felicity when she was their tech girl, and then
yeah, she needs to be Overwatch. That needs to be the only thing that she is.
yeah, and then
Yeah, she's pretty much Barbara Gordon.
I don't know how to feel about Mr. Terrific because that kind of annoyed the hell out of me too. Like, look,
Mr. Terrific's annoying because the guy's annoying.
I like his
If it was a
costume. His costume is comic book accurate.
yeah, it's comic book
yeah,
accurate.
it's very
now.
comic. Yeah. Mhm.
But there are two things that I knew that kind of it kind of annoyed a lot of people. Who were like, first of all, Mr. Terrific is not gay.
Yeah,
He
who
was never
cares, by the
gay.
way? Who cares if he's gay? Like, I'd rather just have him be Mr. Terrific.
But the thing is that his backstory of why he became Mr. Terrific was all centered about losing his wife and kid. And all of a sudden you were like, he's gay. You're like, no,
Yeah. He's
no.
like,
Like,
by the way, I'm gay, and I like made these metal balls because I'm like gay, and I'm like gonna like use these metal balls to like hit other men in the face with them.
Oh God, no.
yeah, that's like it's kind of like how they made Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, gay. It was like, what? That's random.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, we don't even hear anything about Alan Scott anymore. So they're like, oh,
That
okay.
that was
Well,
that
we
was
don't
quickly flushed down the
we don't
toilet
hear
for
anything
him.
about the JSA since like I guess they had JSA and Legends of Tomorrow though,
Yeah, but
season 2.
they kind of I don't know what to say. I don't want to say they kind of messed that up because that just seemed like a very you had Stargirl and then I will say this I did like Stargirl when I
Yeah,
first
I liked all of them. I thought they were cool.
then the only one from the JSA who's not on the JSA but they did him well is Jay Garrick. Like okay,
Yeah,
and now
Oh
the
Jay
yeah, they
Flash
Garrick
definitely
is
did a
Jay
good job
Garrick
with
on that
him.
show.
yeah and now
Well, wait, it was confusing though because did they have the original Flash from like the '90s
Yeah,
show? Wasn't
yeah
he Jay
yeah,
Garrick
it's
or
the original
something?
Flash actor.
yeah he
But then
was
I thought there was another guy who played Jay Garrick too.
yeah the guy so in season 2 Zoom basically the guy who was Zoom he kidnapped the original Jay Garrick and then started parading as him to like put his plans into fruition.
Yeah, because
So
nobody
when
knows what he looks like because he doesn't ever stop, so he just assumed his identity.
Oh,
yeah
oh, that makes sense.
But basically, like the shows right now have really dipped for me. Now this season, it seems like the budget's a lot bigger, so the Flash.
Wait, so are you guys watching Earth
Uh,
X? Earth X?
oh
I'm
yeah,
not.
I watched the first 2 episodes last night, and then I got to watch the second 2 episodes tonight. Like they both ran tonight.
What is it on Hulu or something?
It's on CW, and I guess it's probably on Hulu too by
All
now.
right, I'm gonna check it out. No, I said one thing earlier today when I was talking to my dad and my brother because we have a group chat where we only talk about comic book stuff, and I was like, it's funny how these CW shows fifth costume is comic book accurate. Yeah.
What about the
Oh.
costume?
Like half the costume's good and half of them are like from a TV show.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
yeah.
The Arrow's suit got better and better each season. Like if you keep watching it, his new suit is really cool. And also, the Flash's suit, I like it. It's cool. They changed the midsection because the midsection was so wrinkly in the last couple of seasons because Grant is so small.
Can you guys see that?
But yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So they got what? Terrific Vixen? Is this Vixen?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Vixen. Mm-hmm.
And
That's
Captain
Wild
Adam?
Dog.
Wild Dog?
Yeah, Adam's the one on the second to the right.
White Canary, Flash. Oh, that's Captain Adam. Is this the other Adam? And then I'm guessing that's Heat Wave and then Captain Cold?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't even
Captain Cold is my favorite character on there.
Oh yeah.
I've literally seen a few episodes. I don't watch these shows. I've watched like 2 seasons of Arrow, like 1 season of Flash, probably not even a full season of Flash, and like I've watched a few random episodes of like Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow.
What's so funny is I was watching all these shows, and then one at a time, they started including
That's my brother's comment.
actors from Prison Break.
Oh yeah.
And at one point, there was like 4 guys from Prison Break on there, and my wife started watching it with me, and she was like, because she loves Prison Break. She's like, oh my God, there's so and so. Oh, there's so and so. Hey, there's that. Oh, I hate that guy. I hated that guy on the show. He's back too. And then at one point there was like four of them on there at the same time, and so it really kind of brought it together. I think that was really smart too because they already get along, they've already got chemistry, and then you're going to tie that into this show, and people's going to relate to the characters from the other show. And so when they kept Heat Wave and Captain Cold on there, I was like, that was a really good idea.
Yep.
But the everybody keeps talking about Wild Dog. It's a pretty cool premise. There's too many characters.
Okay,
He doesn't have enough.
Why is Captain Cold a good guy? I don't understand that.
Well, they told him to join the Legends of Tomorrow, and at first he was not a good guy, but he kept helping them and kept helping them, and then eventually he did become a good guy. But when he came back again, he was the bad guy again.
That's weird. I feel like that's lazy. I feel like they should have just made a new character from the comics show up instead of just have Captain Cold be a good guy.
It's cheaper to reuse them.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I feel like it's lazy. Sucks.
But what I really liked about the Captain Cold towards the end when he was being a good guy was he and White Canary kind of developed a relationship.
I thought she was lesbian.
No.
Well, she's hey, this is 2017. You're in current year, okay? She's bi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
And so they kind of had a relationship together, and I was like, I really like that aspect because both of them seemed like they got along and they had chemistry and it worked.
Yeah.
So I really like the aspect that he sacrificed himself, and I was like, they didn't really play on that too much because, and it's okay because the fact that White Canary like basically goes around stamping her territory on like every famous female in the history. Through the show is the funniest thing.
I know, but it gets annoying after a time. But
it does get annoying, but then when it happens, you just can't help but snicker.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Because she doesn't go on for 10 episodes about how she's got to come out and tell her family and how it's a big deal and she doesn't know how she's going to do it. And then we have to sit around and eat pizza, and then I have to start dating this girl and move in with her immediately.
Well, to be honest, like she's been dead, and then her sisters died, and then her father has this illness, and then like her family has suffered.
Big time. She's one of my favorite characters on the Legends of Tomorrow. Firestorm is so OP that he kind of falls back because it's just like, what can you do to Firestorm? He's basically invincible. But the shows right now this season, like I was saying, Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow have totally picked up. Like you can tell that the budget is better, so like all the fight scenes are better. The Green Arrows fight choreography is a lot better. Like he's obviously taking more fighting lessons.
Costume doesn't even look green though, and I'm kind of over the hood. I don't know. I feel
it's a dark green.
I feel like you should just wear a Robin Hood hat, and then I would like the show.
Well, maybe they should amp it up a little bit. Maybe they should do like they did Superman and Justice League and amp up the color a little bit.
Yeah, they should.
I think so. Because they did it in Justice League, and then they showed all three of the suits together for Superman, and I was like, man, they totally changed the coloring, and it's a lot better. But in Justice League, I was like, that looks a little bit blue metallic to me. He looks a little bit like
I like
candy apple blue, like a hot rod or something. I don't know if I like that.
I like the dark Superman just because Zack Snyder likes to make dark superheroes, but I wanted Green Arrow to be a little bit more colorful and like the comics.
Yeah.
Did you see the concept art, or did you see the concept suits for Man of Steel that came out like the last couple of days?
Yeah, I really like those too.
Yeah, I saw
it was like the classic, like all-star Superman suit. I like that.
Well,
like just blue and red.
Yeah, that was good. I was like, just do that. If you're going to be so dark and murky, just do that.
What is this? What is Earth X? Earth X. What I'm typing in Hulu search. What do I search? Which show is it?
It's Crisis of Earth X, and it's basically a tie-in for all 4 shows, but they're doing it over 2 nights instead of 4 because basically we.
I literally have to type in Crisis on Earth. I thought it was on Flash or on Legends of Tomorrow.
It's all 4 shows together.
It's literally called Crisis
of Earth X. Yep.
Oh,
and it's based on Crisis
of
Earth X,
show.
which is like, yeah. Well, it's a special. It's a 4-night or 2-night event.
It's not showing up on Hulu, but somebody said I can download Roku. Is that free? Or I have a Roku, but is that what do I?
You get a
What do you
Roku, and I think you can get it on there somehow.
Yeah, I have
You
I
can
have
get
the
the
Roku.
CW app, and you can watch it on there.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool because basically, it's got Nazis in it, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
But it's the fact that it really fits with the storyline because Earth X is Nazis. Basically, the Nazis in World War II. It's the Man on High Castle all over again.
Reminds
But
me of is it reminds me of Elseworlds comics.
yeah, it's very Elseworlds. Like they show up and everybody's the evil version, and like some heroes aren't there because they killed them. And it's very good storyline, And then they did this whole thing with Supergirl. I'm not going to ruin it, but they did this whole thing with the evil Supergirl that made her a lot more human, and but at the same time she was stronger than the regular Supergirl. And then you had all these other characters on there, and I was like, okay, I like it. But then they started poking. It was like towards the end of episode 1 and towards episode 2, they started poking SJW stuff in there.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, stop, just do the show. Like they started stopping the show, and then it became Supergirl's sister broke up with her fiance, and she's sad. And I was like, are you kidding me? Evil Nazis from an alternate Earth are trying to take over this Earth and turn it into Nazi land. There's more important things going on. And then Felicity has to pull this thing called feminism where Ollie, now Ollie was terrible at this. I can't believe he did this, but Ollie, like, just randomly at the wedding says, hey, you marry me? And then Felicity's like, no.
Oh.
I just
like,
feel like their
damn.
relationship is like being Vlada.
Yeah. And he says, why not? And she goes, well, I just don't really believe in labels. And oh God, I almost like fell out in the floor. I was like, Felicity, you're the worst character in the history of TV
They
shows.
just have the worst romance. That's just the worst romance.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And I don't care. Like people were defending this relationship, like, oh, I like it. I'm like, there's nothing to like about it. Like,
he's supposed to be a freaking Black Canary.
it's where
The only thing that would have been better is if they had the Black Canary still around, and he was seeing the Black Canary in a serious relationship, and then he started seeing Felicity on the side.
you see,
I think
okay,
that would have been a good dynamic, like a love triangle. And then when they found out, like, it almost tore apart the team and all this stuff happened, and then she became paralyzed. I think that would have been a cool aspect to do.
yeah. But then,
But instead,
yeah, you've got this relationship with that's what kind of took me out of Arrow. That specific relationship, like really wanted the actress who played like Laurel Lance. She's no longer playing her, right? Like they haven't.
she's evil now. There's an evil version that's from an alternate universe that came
Yeah,
through one of the rips.
yeah, I remember that.
And,
But the
and
good
she's
one
like
is dead.
Black Scream or something like that.
Oh yeah, Black Siren. Yeah,
Siren, yeah.
yeah. But the good one is dead, apparently, right?
Yeah, and she sacrificed herself, and they did it really well because they played up the last couple of episodes to make you really like her,
Oh gosh,
and
man.
then killed her off with Damien Dark. So I was like,
All
man.
you DC TV heads, have they put Wildcat in the shows? Any of the shows?
They did. They did in Arrow season.
Yeah, they did. He was the fist fighter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in Arrow
in the
season
costume?
3, they put him in there, but he like got his ass kicked badly, and he hasn't.
Did he wear the costume? Did he wear the Wildcat costume?
No,
he had the bandage up hands, and he had some kind of suit, but he wasn't like in a cat costume.
no, he wasn't. But he was a good fighter. Then he one of the big. There was like a miniature arc. There was like a miniature arc where this gang took over Star City, and then he got his.
Yeah, the guy with the brass knuckles.
Yeah, he got his. Wildcat got wrecked in that episode.
Why are they?
And you
I
never
don't understand. Why are they
hear him
so
again.
afraid to use the comic book costumes? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because they
I feel
want
like
normies to watch them.
Gotham does a really good job of making comic book accurate looking stuff to me. Like Professor Pig, whoa, that looks crazy.
Okay, yeah,
they want normies to watch them. That's what it is. CW wants normal people that are fake geeks to watch the show, like the 40-somethings women and all that kind of stuff.
So these shows are for fake geeks. That makes more sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why they're not
now
really
I
accurate.
get it. So when are we going to get the DC TV shows that are for comic book nerds?
That's like the current season of The Flash
Gotham? Oh,
and Gotham and
yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow is actually really good right now.
Yeah.
I feel like Flash is a good show if you like comic books, but also the Disney Channel.
Yeah. Well, see, I think the
Yeah.
problem is that Grant is such a nice person in real life that it plays over to the character too much, and I'm like, dude, be more serious.
Like,
Yeah,
you're
he's kind of like if Justin Bieber wasn't an asshole.
pretty
Yeah,
much. But
because Grant's really nice in real life, and so
you know what I would like for them to do with the Flash show is to incorporate some rebirth aspects. Just have the original Wally West just show up, bam.
yeah,
That would
maybe
that
they'll
would
do
be
that though.
that would be pushing it because people like wait, what's going on here?
But
Like,
then they could do like a whole race thing. They could do like a whole race diversity subject where it's like, oh, who's the real Wally?
that's the thing.
And
Like
then
that's exactly
the
what's
white
that's
Wally will be like, well, of course I'm the real one. Look at me, and they'll be like, oh,
that's exactly what's happening in the comics. Like the Black Wally West is like, wait a minute, I'm not the real Wally West. Why are there two Wally Wests? And then he's like, but this, I don't really, I don't really dislike, I don't really dislike the guy who plays Wally West, the current Wally West, and I don't even dislike this Wally West. But I will
I
say,
do now. When he came out the other day and made it such a big deal to come out and say he was bi, I was like, I now dislike you.
okay, yeah, that
Wait, the
was kind of
Black
stupid. Like I
Wally
don't
West
even
is bisexual?
well the actor
The
is.
actor,
I
What?
don't. The actor is
the
bisexual.
actor is because that's very important in the character
Not
of the
the
TV show is
character,
that the
though, right?
actor. Yeah.
I'm probably
Yeah.
thinking to myself,
I
man,
didn't really.
I don't even think you really are bisexual. I think it might be a cool thing to do
Yeah,
because I've seen you.
it's called
Well,
I don't have serious relationships.
I don't
Yeah,
even know. I don't even know what. I don't even know what to think of the Black Wally West. I just started to learn more about him from the current Rebirth Teen Titans stuff
yeah.
in the Flash.
And the thing was that before this current issue,
Rebirth.
where because he's now back on the Teen Titans, like before then, like I think that his time when he was like not on the Teen Titans, when he was on with Deathstroke, and later issues with the Flash really fleshed out his character because he's realizing that yeah, I am not the original Wally West. I'm not
Yeah,
the original Kid Flash. And I think what
yeah,
they did was like they fleshed him out as like he might not be Wally West, but he is Kid Flash. And as Kid Flash,
exactly.
he's his own character. And it makes sense
Yeah.
that they gave the original Wally West, like the original Wally West, this is Wally West. This is what he's about and he's a little bit. And the original Wally West, which is kind of sad, was that effectively the New 52 kind of retconned his relationship with Linda Park because she can't remember him, and they no longer have their children together or anything like that. They're gone, and
Well,
so
it's kind of interesting though, because I've always grown up thinking that the Flash was Wally West, because wasn't he Wally West on the Justice League cartoon?
yeah,
There for a
he
while he
was.
was, yeah.
Yeah, he was Wally. Like,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I always thought that the Flash was Wally West. I never knew him as Kid Flash. So
Well,
like,
dude,
as soon
I
as
grew up
they
just thinking the
started
Flash
telling,
was the
they
Flash.
pushed the Barry Allen.
oh yeah,
Barry Allen is the Flash in the past like 10 years. So I didn't realize that was kind of the main
yeah.
Flash
It
character.
was what?
So
Yeah,
I like that they brought the original Wally back, and I appreciate the black Wally West now that the white one's back. Also, you know what I mean? Like I appreciate them both.
oh yeah, definitely. Like at first, I was like, because it was a little weird for me when I saw, oh, Wally, the Kid Flash is black. Wait a minute, how's that? What happened here? And I was like, oh, but then of course, Rebirth brought the original Wally West back, and OG Wally West, he's called in Rebirth. He's known as Flash. He's another Flash. Like
Yeah,
he holds the title of Flash, basically,
Yeah, because
and
he
yeah,
wears the suit too.
the suit looks great,
yeah.
I like.
So there's technically two Flashes then, right?
There are two Flashes. Yes, you have Barry Allen and you have the original Wally West.
And the suits look different enough
But
to where you can tell them apart.
he only shows up in Titans though, right? He's
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally only in
he only
Titans.
does it in Titans.
he only shows up in Titans. He's appeared in some Flash issues and he's appeared in Nightwing, but Titans, that's his run. Titans is
Okay.
basically Titans is basically yes, it's a group book, but it's like a Wally West book in a way.
And he's Flash in that. He's not Kid Flash.
No, he's Flash. He is the Flash. He is
Okay.
Flash.
Okay.
He's Flash, but it's because he has nothing to do with like the regular Flash that it's not confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
They
definitely
just call him Wally.
I appreciate the whole rebirth story more the more time goes on, because at first I was like, what? They're bringing this Wally West back, but like it's starting to make more sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crypto, come on.
Hey.
Well, we're wrapping things up, guys. Now, everybody that's still here, I'll let you go ahead and know that Master Chudy and Polo Darkwater both have YouTube channels, so go check out their channels and subscribe.
Thank you.
They also have Twitters, but Master Chudy's, you'll just have to look up Chudy because he has a different name on his, because he's super cool.
Yeah,
And so also I have a Patreon. Check out my Patreon. I also have an apparel store if you want to buy it. Now, the reason I do the apparel is people's like, why do you have clothes? That's so stupid. The reason I do the clothes is because, first of all, somebody designed this avatar that I have for me. Like Dark Philly did this for me. Like, she spent her time and created this. So I want to go ahead and show this off. But at the same time, the shirts and stuff that people get, I use that money to go towards the comic book that I'm writing. And you actually get something. Like, you get a T-shirt to be able to wear around and actually have, instead of like, here's $5. So I think that's a little bit better. It's almost like we're exchanging.
Yeah, I bought a shirt. I bought a shirt from Underground.
Give me cash. Yeah, and he posted a picture of it. So if you do buy a shirt, post a picture of it, and I'll give you a shout out and retweet it.
All right, cool.
But I am writing a comic book. It's coming along pretty good. Hopefully, before long, my artist told me that he's working on the first couple of pages. So maybe before long, we'll have some sketches to show everybody. So I'm kind of excited to talk about that. But we're going to go. Everybody say bye. And guys, stay with me after I stop the broadcast, but I'm going to stop it on here. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. See ya.